me know in the chat, guys, how it sounds. Looks like Twitch has been good, but... Please be good. Please be good. How's it sound? I don't see... Oh, there's TikTok's loading now. How's it sound, everybody? I don't see any comments from YouTube. That's not great. I see Twitch. Hey, Twitch. What's it like being the best chat? TikTok, as you're rolling in, let me know how it sounds. Hello. Oh, no. Great. Oh, it sounds great. Nothing from YouTube yet. There's some laughter. Need a better graphics card to handle multi-streaming. All right, let's check that out. Uninub, let's look at my graphics card. You tell me what's up. Jen, am I hearing you or is that feedback? Great. I'm getting feedback, I think.
No, I had it. I was on for a second.
How do I even find my graphics card? Capture card? I do have a capture card somewhere. I don't know how to use it.
I think if you go to if you go into your search bar on probably on Windows, I think you type the info or what is it?
What would be the brand of my graphics card?
Go to your go to your like I said, that search bar. You should have it's a search type info.
Info. Got it.
Yeah. And then system information.
All right, I see it now. Graphics. Let's see. I have the processor. That's not it. That would be a hardware. AMD or NVIDIA? Yeah, I think I have a... It pops up all the time. I can't find it. This is the worst. This is just in real time showing how dumb I am. Now my computer's freezing. It's not ideal.
We just close it out.
Yeah.
It's not important right now. I remember when you got your computer, it's a solid graphics card. So. Okay,
wait, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Adaptive display adapter. All right, you guys tell me if this is a good one or not. It is. I don't know. I'll figure it. There it is. I have an NVIDIA GeoForce RTX 3080. Do I need to update that? That's what we got. I was told when I bought this computer that was good. That's good enough? All right, thank you. All right, so it's not that. One of these days, we'll just do a whole live stream on tech support one of these days. That's what we'll do. How's everything sounding? Everybody good? Good on TikTok? Jen, do you know? Does anybody say anything about the audio? Are we good?
I think it looks good. I can't if I have it the audio on, when I'm in this chat, I have to mute the other chats so that I don't get the feedback. So I don't know how it sounds necessarily in TikTok yet. So
all right, well we'll get started. We'll kick it off with everybody's favorite pollster, Harry Enton, to give us some more some exit polling after the election on Tuesday.
Yeah, I disagree entirely. I think that the House is on fire, and he's like the dog saying, this is fine. Take a look at this. It's all about the margins, baby. Look, Democratic candidates' margins in 2024 press in New Jersey.
Oh, shit. That's the one is that the older one? Never mind. I put in the wrong one. There we go. I just wanted to get to here because we already saw that polling. Just remember, from 2024 to 2025, we saw a massive increase in Democratic support from +6 and +6 New Jersey and Virginia to +13 and +15. But now we've got some other states here.
Does this track with other elections we've already had this year?
Yes, that's exactly right. So you see New Jersey, you see Virginia, but those are not the only signs. When voters vote, Democrats do well. I mean, just take a look at the House special elections. Take a look here, the 2025 House special elections. Look at those in which Democrats outran Kamala Harris. There have been 5 House special elections so far this year. In every single one of them, across the board, Virginia, Texas 18, that was on Tuesday night, Florida 6, Florida 1, Arizona 7. From blue districts like Arizona 7 to red districts like Florida 1 and 6, what we are seeing are...
I don't have it here, but right before I went live, I saw a clip that I guess in the Miami mayor's race, a Democrat is leading. They go to a runoff now, but we may see a change in the mayoral race in Miami as well. So it seems to be all across the country. This shift is happening, and that's basically what most of today's show is. There is a big shift happening, and like the crash out is very real from Republican legislators.
Clear shift towards the Democratic candidates in all 5 of them, and we're talking about shifts on average, Kate Baldwin, of about... or
the story is your country avoiding falling into full fascism and being attacked by the planet. That is the story.
North of 15 percentage points from the 2024 presidential baseline, which is even larger than the shifts that we saw in both Virginia and New Jersey on Tuesday night.
I mean, and a million things can happen in the year until the midterms. With that caveat, what are you seeing?
A year is a very long period of time, but you know, we've spoken about this. I like going through history. What do these off-year elections usually...
Did you tell your car to shushies? I didn't. Good idea. W yellow gobblers everywhere. Thanks, FOD.
Forecast for the year ahead for the midterm elections. Well, I mean, we take a look at the House special elections, right? If a party outperforms in House special elections 5 out of 5 times, what do we see? They've gone on to win the U.S. House the following midterm every single time since the 2005-2006 cycle. So when you see, of course, that the Democrats are outperforming in all of them, historically speaking, that means they go on to win the U.S. House of Representatives in the following midterm. And then, yes, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, yes, these are blue city in New York City, yes, the blue states in Virginia and New Jersey. But historically speaking, when you sweep all 3, you go back since the FDR administration. Guess what? The Democrats, when they sweep all 3, go on to win the House 5 out of 5 times. So it's the special elections, it's New Jersey, New York City, Virginia, all those put together. Yes, it is a year from now, but all those put together usually forecast pain for the Republican Party come the midterm elections. If I'm Steve Scalise, I am not dismissing these results. I'm going to try and get myself some fire insurance.
Yeah, but you have to dismiss the results because Donald Trump. You got to keep old Poppy Bear happy. Brianna said, if gender is whatever's between your legs, then I identified as your dad last night. All right. I don't know if Stick's here yet, but Stick found our videos yesterday, and he went on a commenting spree. He was not happy that I mentioned his dad. He also said I said bad things about his dad yesterday. I thought I said very nice things about his dad yesterday. I don't think he understood that we were actually complimenting his dad, but W for that comment. All right, I'm going to show you some clips from Adam Mockler, and I think maybe this is me swallowing my pride a little bit. I'm not regularly jealous of people, but like I would really enjoy Adam Mockler's life. I would really enjoy being on CNN talking to Republicans every night. And what he did yesterday was fucking incredible. I know he gets training. I know he has like a whole team, but he has gotten so good at this that he's now just taking on these CNN panels by himself, and they're absolute blowouts every single time. And I want to show you some clips from Adam Mockler yesterday on that CNN panel. He also got a new haircut, and he looks a little better. His hair has been a problem. He absolutely just dominated CNN last night. This about first on you can talk about the capture of the Republican Party by the white nationalists and Nick Fuentes and the GOP's inability to do a goddamn thing about it.
He targeted his anger was to have him on his podcast.
Wait, so he was so enraged, he decided to have a friendly interview with Nick Fuentes. The problem, listen, the problem is not that he held the interview, it's that he normalized this type of ideology. I think the Republican Party is for the first time being forced to face the monster that they've created in Nick Fuentes. Throughout my entire youth, I've watched Donald Trump normalize, not Nick Fuentes' rhetoric, but a type of extremist rhetoric that the U.S. has never seen before. Now, that is manifesting in
You can't tell your Carter shushies.
the GOP, or at least Tucker Carlson and big wings of the GOP, welcoming in. Tucker Carlson is welcoming in somebody who believes the Holocaust didn't happen, or he thinks if it did happen, it was a good thing. He thinks that black people deserve less rights, women deserve less rights.
You can't say that about Donald Trump.
The Republicans do
about
not.
Jewish people with Donald Trump.
That's how I'm saying.
He wore a yarmulke at his daughter's wedding.
The way that Donald Trump speaks about the Democratic Party, the way that Donald Trump speaks about people who disagree with him, has normalized this extremist rhetoric. He said that we were gnats who need to be taken care of in front of the military. But the point is, a lot of young people are being sucked into this Nick Fuentes pipeline. I don't think the Republican Party, the old guard, is ready for what's about to smack them in the face with this new guard.
Yeah. You guys are, if you aren't a Nick Fuentes fan and you're a Republican, bad news. You're about to be forced to either be a Nick Fuentes fan or find a different party, because he has taken it over. The Groypers, the white nationalists, they've absolutely taken over your party. And Mockler's great job pointing that out. Then here he is with Lydia Moynihan from the New York Post, which is just like, I don't know why we still pretend that they're not just anything more than a gossip magazine. But all of the talking points that Republicans historically have used, none of them work now, because Donald Trump is one, he is an authoritarian, and two, he's taking control of the country in a way that nobody ever has before. A group text I had this morning with one of my friends, that's like, I'm trying to figure out a way to message that, and I finally just said, like, I don't know what to do. Like, you're smart. You guys know this. I think that a lot of America is kind of closing their eyes and hoping that what Trump is doing is just like an extension of what other people have done. And that's kind of like what a lot of my Republican friends who are unhappy with Trump are. They're like, yeah, I don't like it, but I don't like it because he's just doing what all politicians have ever done. And we've got to break them out of that. He's not doing what other politicians have done. Nobody's ever done this before. Like the lengths that he's going to consolidate power and to sell off our country, sell off our military, sell off our space travel, sell off our like the IRS, the FBI, the CIA. He's literally just selling our government off to private companies. And a lot of Republicans forever have kind of said, like, we want to do like private companies work better than the government. So it's this weird thing where they're now faced with the reality of the stuff they all said to each other. But do you trust Palantir? I know you don't trust the government. I don't trust the government either. But like, I can vote some people out in the government. I can't vote out anybody at Palantir. And I have no transparency into what Palantir is doing. So we're at this stage now where all these like things that Republicans used to generically say to each other, like, this will fix the problem. Well, Donald Trump's doing those generic things, and it looks an awful lot like he's saying, we're not really going to do democracy anymore. And the small government conservatives, the fiscal conservatives, what are you watching? What are you watching right now? They're not doing any of that stuff. And here's a good example of how to take care of somebody who claims that they're still a small government Republican.
Are in a position where they are interested in negotiating based on everything that's being reported and that we're hearing from them.
Democrats are absolutely to negotiate. There's reporting today that they're ready because they have leverage. First of all, I just want to say, the idea that the Republican Party is the party of small government, as you claimed, is a joke under this administration. Donald Trump is taking stakes, active stakes in multiple companies. Donald Trump is expanding his executive power, trying to trample all over Congress, trying to appoint people in key positions so that they can take Jimmy Kimmel off the air. But I do want to say...
So what do you want? What do you want big government here in New York? Why is that something that we should advocate for?
We just want the government open.
You see how they do this? You just said you're small government. I'm now pointing out that you're not small government. And she's like, well, then why do it in New York? Well, why don't you support it in New York? Why do you only support it when it's Trump? They don't have answers. None of them. These are the people that are paid to have answers, and they literally don't have anything. They are also media trained. You have Adam Mockler here, who is media trained and who has a team behind him, and you have Moynihan, who is media trained and has a team behind them, and they're both representing. You got the representing Republicans and Democrats, and yes, both of them are biased, and both of them, it's their job to tell their side of the story. But the Republican is, but what about Joe Biden? Or no matter what they say, just play whataboutism. They have answers to absolutely nothing. You can't argue that this isn't authoritarian, that this isn't big government, that this isn't the government in every aspect of your life.
My position on
I
New
want
York,
the government.
first of
The
all.
Republicans have voted 14 times to open the government.
Let me just finish. Republicans have voted 14 times to strip health care away from millions of Americans. It is incredibly...
Guys, it's a known issue on TikTok that the chipmunk voice, it's going to come and go. I would highly recommend going to Twitch or to YouTube to watch. The voice is going to come and go. It's a Streamlabs thing. There's not a goddamn thing I can do about that.
Incredibly obvious who has the moral high ground in this government shutdown, and it's the Democratic Party. They are just trying to prevent millions of Americans
Who
from
put
being
the
kicked off of
sunset provision
healthcare.
for ACA subsidies?
Republicans negotiated.
That was Democrats.
Republicans negotiated that
Who
in.
put the sunset provision
Do you
for
understand?
This is a weird one. I don't remember who said this when we were debating the other night, but Republicans now are falling back on the sunset provision. And the sunset provision is just like that the subsidies will expire at some point. Democrats didn't want a sunset provision. Republicans didn't want the ACA. They negotiated and basically said, hey, we'll do the ACA, we'll try it, we'll have a sunset provision, and then we'll revisit it at the end of the sunset provision. That was the only way for Democrats to pass the bill. It was the Republicans that put in the sunset provision. This talking point from Republicans is wild. Now they're blaming Democrats for the stuff that they did. Why? Because there's no plan for healthcare. They don't have an answer for any of this shit. They're literally, their only plan is to just blame Democrats. And they're stuck in this position because Donald Trump won't budge. Donald Trump won't do the right thing and extend these subsidies so that people can afford health insurance.
Do you understand how negotiation works in Congress? Two sides have to come together. The Republican Party.
This would be the first time that we wouldn't have a clean
Party
CR
was the
passed.
party.
This is the bill that Schumer and everyone else agreed to.
The Republican Party was the party
earlier
that
this
came
year.
in.
Why aren't they committing to it this year?
Listen, the Republican Party.
Why can't they commit to it this
The Republican
year?
Party was the party that didn't want permanent credits. Number one. Number two, the reason why Democrats are number one just holding off is because millions of Americans are about to get kicked off healthcare. It's incredibly simple. It's super simple.
They put in the sunset provision.
He just explained it to her. She's like, uh-oh, that's all they gave me. They put in the sunset provision. All right, well, even if they did, what if it was Democrats that put in that sunset provision? Why are you guys opposed to extending the subsidies? That's the question. This shutdown, every day that it goes on further, it becomes more and more clear that the Democrats are trying to do something for the American people that almost everybody in America wants, and Republicans are saying, no, we already set that money aside to give it to corporations and billionaires.
Quickly talk about some of the things, because we just hear from J.D. Vance, who said...
All right. Next one here. Now we've got the division. Now we're talking about divisiveness. Remember when they got mad at Mom Donnie 2 days ago because he raised his voice a little bit in a campaign speech? They're like, I can't believe this man is not speaking quietly. He's so divisive.
I want to jump in, and you were saying this is not how politics has always been, and I agree, but who started this new era of divisive politics? Was it Obama? Was it Biden? It was definitely Trump. Trump's claim to fame in the political arena was saying that Obama's birth certificate was fake. That was his claim to fame. His second claim to fame in the political arena was coming up with nicknames for his opponents. He was chanting...
Yeah, well, that's what got him elected.
So let me ask you,
that's what got him elected.
Can any of you concede that Trump was the one, either of you, that entered us into this new era of divisive politics?
I thought we were talking about Nancy Pelosi.
I'd just like to point out, Bob, thanks for being here. Bob, you're doing exactly what we just said all of you guys are doing. You don't have answers for any of this shit. All you have is pointing the finger at Democrats, and you're a goddamn adult. And the people that represent you are adults. Nobody gives a fuck about the blame game right now. Nobody does. What's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is to make sure that Americans have health insurance so they can stay healthy. You can keep pointing at Dems all day long. Nobody's listening to you anymore. The country doesn't care when it's on the line, when this is real dollars and cents, when this is the difference between Americans having health insurance and not, or the difference between people having to go into debt to pay for health insurance or not. They don't care. You can point all day long that this continuing resolution's been voted on before, that there's a sunset provision. You can play all of these games. It doesn't matter whose fault it is. The Democrats are saying we should extend these subsidies. The Republicans are saying we should not. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody that's about to see their health insurance premiums rise by 300% gives a single solitary fuck why it's going up. They just want to be able to afford it. And Republicans are saying, we will do nothing for you. Your prices are going up, and it's the Democrats' fault, and we're not going to fix it. And the Democrats are saying, we're going to try and extend these subsidies, so even though your prices are going up, you will have some help paying your bills. Good luck with that, Bob. Good luck telling people. They don't care. Nobody cares whose fault it is when their bill goes up. They just want help, and your party's doing nothing for it. I don't like the Democrats. I think largely they suck. I agree with you on that. But like, you're a grown-up. Be a grown-up.
We're talking about them both, but yes,
Yeah.
she did.
Healthcare, Bob. That's the one thing the government has done better than private business. Healthcare. How about fire departments? How about police departments? How about infrastructure when it comes to telephone, internet? This thing you're talking to me on, Bob, right now, the reason that we can communicate right now and I can read your messages is because the government built out the infrastructure for the internet. Education, they do better. There's a lot of things that the government has done better than the private sector, Bob. That's silly. Go look at the outcomes and the satisfaction rates of the VA versus private healthcare insurance. Everybody rips on the VA like, oh, the people don't like the VA. Yeah, they don't like the VA. But you know what they like even less than the VA? Private health insurance. People don't like public education. But you know what they like better than private education? Public education. You're just all talking points, Bob. Keep it going. Keep it going. All you guys have is complaints. You are grown. You're a grown man, Bob. I know that because your name's Bob. You are a grown-up, and you're out here just like playing whataboutism about everything. People are hurting, Bob. Your party doesn't give a goddamn about those people, and they don't give a goddamn about you. And like the further this goes, the more likely it is to affect you. We're all affected a little bit, but like the further down this road we get, the more likely this is to come home and roost on your porch. And look at what's happening. Will the Republicans step up and help you? They sure won't. They sure won't. They'll hand off the money to rich people. I don't know why you even care. Like, it's not like we're spending less, Republicans. We're just spending less money on poor people. We're actually spending more money than we were before, but that money's not going to help American citizens. It's going to help out multi-billion-dollar corporations, and it's going to make sure that we bomb fishing boats in Venezuela, and that we continue subsidizing a genocide in Palestine. And you're like, well, we were in debt, so we had to cut money. But you didn't. You're not cutting spending. The deficit is going to increase under Donald Trump. And what are you getting out of it? Nothing. Don't be a cuck, Bob. Be better than that.
Was it her that entered us in this era?
Look, there have been Hillary Clinton making comments about deplorables.
5 years
Obama
after.
talking about people, guns and Bible. I mean, I don't think politics has ever been a gentlemanly sport. If you look at back during the Civil War, people were getting caned on the Senate floor and
But Trump is dragging us down to the
hospitalized.
depths of hell by breaking unspoken norms over and over.
Ironic, like, we've never had these conversations before. How come we never had these conversations before Trump was here? Mockler is, I'm just telling you, he might be our best pundit. She's up against Adam Mockler. And it helps that Adam Mockler is fighting against Donald Trump, who's a prolific dipshit. All right, last one here, and then we'll
I want to jump in and
see real quick. Gets this one. This is a great question. And watch how unable people who support Donald Trump are to answer this question. Same way Bob's unable to answer this question.
Can I just ask, to either of the Republicans on this panel, would you rather see this government shutdown end in Trump's preferred way, which is terminating the filibuster, or Democrats' preferred way, which is extending health care? What do you?
Great question. The end goal of Republicans, or their plan, is to end the filibuster and not help people with health care. Just reopen the government, but nobody gets help with health care. Or you can end it in a way where the Democrats say, let's help people with health care. What's your preferred way? Anybody who says just ending the filibuster is literally, you're just like a Trump fan. It's like your football team wins because of like a blown call from the referee. Are you going to change it? No, because you're just happy that you won. But was it good? Was it right? Probably not.
You say?
First of all, I'm not a Republican.
Sorry. Then what do you?
Then
what do you say? I want to see. What do you say?
I ran for city council as a Democrat.
He doesn't want to answer. See this? How would you like it to end? I'm not a Republican. All right. Now he's going to spend this a minute and 47. He's going to spend almost all of his time complaining about the fact that he was called a Republican and not answering this question because Republicans don't have answers to these questions. And it gets exposed here.
Then what do you say? I want to see. What do you say?
I ran for city council as a Democrat in the city of New York. Lost by 100
Then
votes.
I want to ask you. What do you say about that?
I'm a New Yorker.
Okay, answer my question. Answer my question then.
These labels. You know why we are where we are?
Answer my
Because of what
question.
you just did. I'm going to answer your question. But this is why we are where we are. Because we've become so partisan. We've forgotten about the people who don't put gas in their car. We've forgotten about the people who can't feed their kids. We're more worried about here's why the Democrats don't have power.
He asked him that. See what I mean? He was like, we're so divided because you called me a Republican. And now he's going to criticize Democrats. The question was, how would you like this to end? I don't want to answer that. I'd like to point out that you accidentally called me a Republican. I'm very upset by this.
Are not motivated to settle this because history will say under Donald Trump, it was the longest government shutdown.
The second
so it'll
one.
be it'll be now.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
So for the Democrats, it's going to be down on his scorecard.
Let me ask you that then, David. David, you say it's not a problem with healthcare for U.S. citizens. It's a problem with healthcare for illegal aliens. Okay, but the Democrats have said they're willing to drop that part in a negotiation. That's why it's included. Now, it's not healthcare for illegal aliens. It's reimbursement for hospitals who choose to give care to people who are undocumented, but the hospital doesn't know that. Somebody shows up at an emergency room and they're undocumented, and the hospital doesn't know that. And so we have historically reimbursed those hospitals for that care. That's the funding that you're talking about. But Democrats have said we're willing to budge on a lot of these things if you will restore the ACA subsidies. Don't let yourself be lied to, David. The Republicans are saying, we will not negotiate. So the thing that you're saying, like, oh, we don't have a problem with the ACA subsidies, it's only this part. Well, the Democrats aren't saying that we're unwilling to budge on this part. They're saying we will negotiate, and Republicans, led by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and Scott Bessent, they have all said publicly, and Mike Johnson, we will not negotiate. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to say like, oh, it's actually the Democrats' fault. You won't even come to the table and negotiate. It's negotiation 101 that you come to the table with more than you think you can get. And you do that so that you can negotiate pieces away. The Republicans won't even come to the table. They're on vacation. They're saying, no, we're not meeting with you. Trump says, no, I'm not going to meet with you. Mike Johnson says, no, I'm not going to meet with you. No, we're not going to negotiate. The Democrats need to just do what we say. What you're doing is cope. What you're doing is repeating a line that you've heard, but your side of the aisle is not willing to negotiate, and that's why you guys are getting dunked on everywhere. They don't care about you, bud. They just want to give more money to rich people.
I wish Congress would go to their home districts and see the people suffering.
You want to know who
and then come back to Washington and then make their decisions.
Somebody is.
They did. The Republicans all went home. They've been gone since September. They haven't done anything since September. And they came back and said, we're not going to negotiate. I don't know what this is. First of all, he's not answering the question. He doesn't want to answer the question on how this ends because he knows the answer. But now he's just like generically throwing out shit that's absolutely happening.
It's Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she's taking the sides of the Democrats actively. She has talked to her constituents, and she said their health care premiums are about to skyrocket. So, again, one party clearly has the moral high ground. Let me ask the same question. How should the shutdown end? The way that Trump wants it to end?
It should end that it always There's one way it typically has always ended on
negotiation.
under Biden.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Biden,
Negotiation.
It always ends with a clean
with
CR.
Negotiation.
No.
I reject your premise.
I reject your premise that people negotiate.
You're
so
too false.
Donald Trump wants to terminate the filibuster. Democrats want to extend health care credits. Which
Also, real quick, it's not a clean CR. That's bullshit. But secondly, it's also not an argument. That's just a thing that Republicans keep saying because they don't have an argument. It doesn't fucking matter if it's a clean CR. Who cares? The American people want the subsidies. They're demanding the subsidies, and Republicans are like, nope. Sorry, you can't have subsidies because it's a clean CR. Who cares? It's not like a law. It's not a rule. It's just a thing that they're saying. There's nothing that says that you have to pass a CR because it's clean. And by the way, when Donald Trump was inaugurated, the day he was inaugurated, Mike Johnson had a press conference, and Mike Johnson said, finally, we got Trump in here. We have control of the House and the Senate. We will no longer be passing continuing resolutions. The days of continuing resolutions, or CRs, if you don't know what that means, are done. And here we are. In the very first year, Republicans are unable to pass a budget. They can't pass a budget because if they pass a budget, you guys are going to find out what they want to do. So they're just sneakily doing it behind the scenes so that you don't know. And then they're like, oh, this is actually a clean CR. Who cares? The American people want it. It's not a law. It's not a rule. It's just a thing that they're saying that you guys are all repeating for no reason. She has no idea why this clean CR matters. None whatsoever. But they won't negotiate on our behalf. That's their job. Literally, Congress's job is to negotiate. That's it.
Which of these sides would you choose?
I reject that premise.
Okay.
Yeah, they won't answer the question. That's where we're at. And look, they're going to keep doing it, and that's fine. They're going to keep bleeding support. All right. Cool story here. And this just had me dying. I want to show you the difference between a good citizen and law enforcement. ICE can lick my butthole. Fuck ICE forever and ever and ever. ICE is filled and led by cowards who lie and deceive the American people every single day. I could give a fuck about ICE, and I hope that when Democrats get control, I think we should just end ICE. ICE shouldn't exist. We only had ICE because of 9/11, and it's clear that they're not tracking down terrorists, which was what they were supposed to do. ICE doesn't need to be around anymore. I hope Democrats campaign on ending ICE. I think it would be wildly popular. But you may remember the story of the man who threw a sandwich at an ICE agent. And then ICE acted like it was the biggest thing in the world and tried to take him to court for assault, and they lost in pretty hilarious fashion.
Smiles and signs of relief from the so-called DC sandwich guy and his legal team as
Sorry. Good question, Carlos. It doesn't matter. How about the matter of the $37 billion in debt? Well, it's $1 trillion in debt, first of all, Carlos. But if you look at the one big, dumb, fucking bitch-ass bill that they passed, you would know that that's going to increase our debt by $5 trillion. So you guys don't know what you're looking at. I'm just like, if you say that you want to eliminate the debt, or if you want to spend less, or you want to accelerate the debt less, go look at it. Under Joe Biden, we accelerated the debt at a slower rate, despite having 2 bailouts. Or not bailouts, whatever. Yeah, we can call them a bailout. The COVID relief, the stimulus. Despite 2 of those, we increased the debt at a slower rate. Obama increased the debt at a slower rate. Republicans accelerate the debt every single time because they increase spending and they bring in less money. So, like, everything that you guys pretend that you care about, in real time, when you watch it happen, you don't know that it's happening. You guys have no idea. All a Republican politician has to do is say stuff that you like and you support it. None of you know what they're doing.
A jury found him not guilty of misdemeanor assault. Now, Sean Dunn had become something of a cult hero and a symbol of the resistance to the Trump administration. Images of him throwing that sandwich could be seen on T-shirts and buildings throughout D.C. over the past few months. Now, this all stemmed from an incident back in August when Sean Dunn was captured on video getting in federal agents' faces and screaming shame and profanities. Prosecutors say he then slung a salami sub into the chest of a Border Patrol agent and ran away. Now, Dunn only made it about a block before he was arrested. The next day, he was fired from his job at the Department of Justice. Federal prosecutors had argued the video clearly shows Dunn throwing the sandwich and that he later told a police officer, "I did it, I threw a sandwich," and that he shouldn't get a free pass for his behavior.
Okay, we're going to see a big difference between a citizen and ICE. Yep, that was me. I did it. I actually also should be punished for this. My bad. He admitted it. Now ICE is going to go to court and they're going to lie.
During the trial, the Border Patrol officer who was hit by the sandwich testified that it, quote, exploded all over his chest.
Hell yeah, brother.
And that he could smell the mustard and onions. But then the defense argued a picture of the sandwich on the ground afterwards showed it was still in its wrapper and
whoopsies, you lying little bitch.
Therefore could not have exploded. Now, according to the defense, the officer's bulletproof vest should have been more than enough to protect him from a sub. And the defense said
it's a real argument in court. Sir, does your Kevlar vest stop bullets? It does. Well, do you think you were okay getting hit with a sandwich then? No, dude, it was so bad. There was mustard and I could smell onions. I hate onions. They make me cry.
Border Patrol officer got multiple gag gifts afterwards from his co-workers, such as a plush sandwich and a patch of the subslinger that the officer put on his lunchbox, which the defense argued was proof the agents were not really that upset or traumatized by what happened. Now, today, outside court, Sean Dunn thanked his legal team and said he was thrilled the jury found him not guilty.
I am so happy that justice prevails in spite of everything happening. And that night, I believe that I was protecting the rights of immigrants. And let us not forget that the Great Seal of the United States says e pluribus unum. That means from many, one. Every life matters, no matter where you came from, no matter how you got here.
Now, prosecutors had initially tried.
Let us not. Sub sandwiches are the superior siege weapon. The hero sandwich we deserve. These are good. We start calling him the hoagie hero.
To indict Dunn on a felony assault charge, but a grand jury declined to bring.
Look at this story. Salami sub toss, not assault, says jury.
That charge. That is why prosecutors then brought the misdemeanor charge.
I relish this decision. Stop it. Get it together. You guys stop it. Stop it.
Now, my colleagues on the News 4 I team just spoke with U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro moments ago. She told them, quote, "We accept the verdict, but no police officer deserves to be."
It must have been a deli cut situation. High capacity pepperoni on my assault sub, please. This is killing me. I got here late. I need to catch up. This is baloney. Jesus Christ.
Assaulted.
I'm dying. Onions and ice. Or onions and mustard ice, kryptonite. Oh my God, that's killing me. This dude's gonna have flashbacks every time he sees a subway. I can't sleep. Every time I fall asleep, I hear the $5 footlong jingle. I can't do it. All I eat is salads now. Bread. Bread is my enemy. PTSD sub. Hoagie's hero submachine gun. This is crazy. Not what would Jared do. No, Arbarian, not what would Jared do. It's too soon for that. Oh my God. Viet Parmesan flashbacks. Post-traumatic sub disorder. PTSD, Jean. You guys get it together. PTBLT. Walter, don't pretend that don't use an internet meme. Don't use like a right-wing internet meme and try and pretend it's your own joke. Come on, Walter. We've all seen that video. Don't use other people's work for your jokes. Well done, Chad. That's unbelievable. I got to get back to the show. Oh, all right. Also, there was a meeting. Remember when Trump re-announced Joe Biden's plan to lower the price of GLP-1s? There was a part of there that I didn't watch it, and we missed, and Colbert's team caught this. Now, this part will have to be clipped out of our, I believe, of our replay, because I'm sure they'll copyright strike this, but this is unbelievable.
This deal help average Americans? Well, for that, we heard from Dr. Oz.
We thought it was 125 million pounds. Mr. President, our estimate, based on the company numbers as well, is Americans will lose 135 billion pounds by the midterms.
135 billion pounds? Now, I'm not a doctor or the Wizard of, but that
sounds good.
I gotta say, that seems like a lot of pounds. Yvonne, let's break down those numbers. 135 billion pounds divided by approximately 343 million Americans means on average.
Somebody mute Walter Davis for repeating memes that he stole from the internet thinking he's funny. Walter, you got a 5-minute timeout, bud.
Average will each be losing 393 pounds per American. Wow. I'm going to wear a two-piece next summer.
Yeah. An average American by the next midterms will lose 393 pounds. This is one of those things, like, it's good that MAGA's all fucking stupid. That's why Trump can just, like, make up numbers. He said yesterday that by the end of the year, I think they were going to bring in $20 trillion in tariffs. Or no, excuse me, in investment, I think. I don't remember if it was tariffs or investment. I can find the clip. One of those two things. Either way, I think it was investment. I think he's brought in, like, if you take him at his word for all the deals that he allegedly signed, it's something like $3 trillion. But he says it's gonna be $20 trillion. Like, we could just wipe out half our debt with that. I'll finally be at my goal of negative 200 pounds. Dude, this administration is so goddamn dumb. Like, they're just the dumbest. Everything they say is a lie, an approvable lie, and it's ridiculous. Lee said he's a better Subway spokesperson than Jared was. Yeah, I think most people are. Brian said in 86, Reagan signed the Emergency Medical Treatment Act. That made it so anyone, regardless of citizenship status, receives treatment. Yeah, but then Donald Trump came along, and he's like, I don't want people to get treatment. I want them all to die. And here we are. Marlene said, should the ER check your citizenship before starting CPR? Good question. Jamar said, assault me with your sausage, daddy. Get that mustard all over me. Relax, Jamar. Fucking relax. All right, we'll keep moving on here. You know that guy, Elon Musk? Elon Musk is dumb. And I don't know how to convince people of that. They think because he has money that he's smart, but he retweets the dumbest shit on earth. And he's not, like, if you listen to him speak, there's not a whole lot going on there. He has access to money. He basically ran a company, or created a company that didn't work, convinced PayPal to buy it. PayPal bought it. Within like 3 months, PayPal realized that Elon Musk was a total fraud. They removed him as, I believe it was CEO, and basically said, yeah, you can you can keep your shares in PayPal, but we want nothing to do with you. And he took those shares in PayPal, and then he ran a scam called Solar City, and then he bought somebody else's company called Tesla and pretended he invented it, and then he convinced the government to artificially prop up his company, and that's why Elon Musk is rich. He's just a serial fraudster. And he retweeted this. I've learned one thing. If you are a Republican and somebody speaks to you and says, socialism bad, and they have a beard, you just believe them. And this is another one of those cases.
You can get a plumber to your house in the middle of the night within an hour. But if you go to the ER, you could wait 6 hours. Why? The federal government never tried to make plumbing affordable and accessible.
Then where does it, okay, just explain this. When you take a poopy, take a big stinky poopy, and you flush, where does that poopy go? Where does the poopy go? The poopy goes down the drain. And everybody's poopy goes into the sewer system. Who built the sewer system? Who made your ability to do a poopy in your own house more accessible? Was that the government? That was the government, wasn't it? Did it make it more affordable for people so they didn't have to dig a big fucking trench and build an outhouse? Did it make it more affordable? And did it make it more accessible? Yeah, it did. But they don't know that if they're Republicans, so they just say things with a beard and think that is true. It's not true. The government made your poopy go away. It's not in your backyard anymore. James, you're a loser would be YOU''RE. Why do all the MAGA just like fit the stereotypes? None of you punctuate correctly. None of you can spell. The poopy goes down to Dwayne. The poopy goes into the sewer system. The government built the sewer system. So 0 for 1.
You can buy an 85-inch television for $1,000,
Oh.
but a dialysis machine costs $30,000.
Oh.
Why? The federal government never tried to make televisions affordable and accessible.
Oh, they didn't? The federal government never did that? Why can you have a television? Because you have a electricity? How do you get electricity to your house? The infrastructure? Who built that infrastructure? Was that the government? Oh, you wouldn't have a TV without the government. Yeah, that works. 0 for 2.
You can get LASIK surgery done for $1,500 because it's not covered by Medicare or Medicaid, because it's elective. But if you get a major surgery, it could cost you $100,000. Why? The federal government never tried to make LASIK affordable and accessible.
No, it's because LASIK surgery is mostly not done by hand anymore. If any of you live in Utah and you've seen billboards all over the place for Hoops Vision, they're like the biggest LASIK provider in Utah. I know Phil. I've played golf with Phil a bunch of times. Good guy, great guy. The reason that LASIK surgery is less expensive is because the more colleges offered training for it, and 2, because it's more automated now. And guess who funded that? The government. Guess who had programs for LASIK? State-run schools that got government funding. Why is a dialysis machine $30,000? Because it's expensive, saves lives, takes a lot of training. And guess what? The government has also tried to make that cheaper, and it's gotten cheaper. 0 for 3.
Socialism is killing every industry it touches.
Go shit in your backyard then, you dumb bitch. Don't do socialism anymore. No more flushing your toilets, no more electricity, no more internet, no more school, no more police, no more fire department, no more regulations that make it so that when an electrician comes in and wires your house that he doesn't do his shitty job and it burns down. No more of any of that, okay, guys? You got to shit in your own backyard. You got to. I guess you're gonna have to get a windmill, which Trump's gonna be fucking furious about. You have to start generating your own electricity. No more using the socialisms, guys. No more using the socialisms until you use the education. We'll give you the education, but you got to learn some things. You can't just grow a beard and say dumb shit. But Elon Musk retweeted this because Elon Musk is also a dipshit, and Elon Musk doesn't exist as Elon Musk, as a billionaire, without the government propping up his business all along the way. PayPal was originally supposed to replace currency, and again, Elon had nothing to do with that. But what industry did he go to next? Solar. He started Solar City. That was based on the backs of what? Government subsidies for residential solar, right? Yeah, he did that. Then he went to Tesla, which doesn't exist without what? government subsidies. The irony of Elon Musk, who is only a billionaire because of the government, because he used your taxpayer funds to enrich himself, and you guys got dick out of that. Not a goddamn thing. You paid for Elon Musk to become a billionaire, and you didn't get a fucking thing. In fact, a lot of you, weirdly, I love Elon Musk. He's great. Global warming's not a thing. Renewable energy is very dumb. We should just always use gas and oil. He's a billionaire because of left-leaning policies, and then he took government funding, and now he's out here like, we shouldn't have government funding. Oh, okay. Who's not? NVIDIA. NVIDIA's rich because of the government. Palantir doesn't exist without the government. All these companies that are out there sniffing Donald Trump's diaper every day, getting government handouts, don't exist. SpaceX, Elon's other company, doesn't exist without government subsidies. At what point are you guys going to stop listening to these people? You guys can't have government subsidies. If the government helps you with health care or food, fuck you, that's socialism. If the government gives me hundreds of billions of dollars and then I keep all that money for myself, then not socialism. It's just, if it makes you a billionaire, not socialism. But if it feeds your family or helps you see a doctor, it is socialism. Every septic tank proves the smart poops in the backyard. Benny said he wants toilets that make you watch a 2-minute ad before you flush. If you want to flush the poopy, you have to watch. This ad's going on there for sure. We need to start a petition for this ad to play on all Republicans' toilets before they flush it. Like, nobody's as soft as a conservative. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Those conservative men are soft as shit. That's why every time you go to a conservative podcast, it's like, and now to our sponsor, Blue Chew. Your dick can work again. You don't have to scream at women when your dick doesn't work. This'll fix it. It'll fix it, guys. John said, $5 train for the sweetest and most loving show producer, Jen. Lee said I got that one already. Sorry, go up, not down. Eric said, did you know that 78% of statistics are made up? Amy said, at John the Fourth, who? And also, some red states do let the poopy fill the backyard. Red states basically are septic tanks. Benny said he wants... Oh, I read that one. And Danielle said Elon Musk gets $8 million a day in government subsidies. But if you get $20 in SNAP, fuck you, you socialist. He's about to get a whole lot more than that, too, because they're going to take all the money, all your taxpayer money that you guys use, that we use for like the space program, and they're going to give that money to Elon Musk, and he's going to profit off of it now. So now we're going to spend trillions of dollars now to pay Elon Musk. Did you notice that Elon Musk just got a compensation package for $1 trillion? Why do you think that is? Why do you think his board just said like that this compensation package, which could be worth $1 trillion, exists? It couldn't possibly have to do with the fact that he just got his little buddy and his little minion reappointed as the head of NASA, and his whole plan is to give all the contracts to Elon. Couldn't be that, right? All you have to do with Republicans is just tell them it's socialism, and they're just on your side. I want to shout out some of my friends over at Barstool Sports, who a lot of you don't like because you all fucking hate Dave Portnoy, which is fair because Dave Portnoy's kind of a prick. But Barstool Sports is largely, if you listen to most of their content creators, most of them would agree with your politics. And I love this because it just shows like we're at a stage right now of hyper capitalism where everything fucking sucks. Just like everything sucks. If you watch sports right now and you watch ESPN, you know what I'm talking about. The app where you have to watch everything crashes all the time. They're fighting with all these other providers because they want to build a monopoly. So they're not putting ESPN on YouTube TV, and they're charging an arm and a leg. Everybody's prices for Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN, those prices are all going up, and that's all the same ownership. And I just loved this rant from Big Cat. I like Big Cat. This is one of the founders of Barstool, or one of the first people. He's kind of like the number 2 at Barstool. I'm a big fan of Big Cat, and this rant is everything.
ESPN is everyone because ESPN's got a new app and they're basically just going to hold their, and they also own Hulu and Fubo. They're screwing over everyone who has cut the cord and went to YouTube TV, and it's just fucked up. It's fucked up. They're just screwing over the consumer, the people who just want to watch sports. I just want to watch sports. That's all I want to watch. I can watch the shows I watch are on Netflix or HBO. Let me just watch sports. I don't watch any other TV besides sports. Give me all the sports in one place and let me.
Hey, Mike, I can't read all the comments because it's streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. You're welcome to come up here and talk to me. Don't sit. I'm not going to argue with the comments all day. I see some, I don't see others, but you're welcome to come up here and talk to me, and the chat will help you figure out how to do that.
Pay for that and stop with this bullshit where everyone is trying to squeeze each other out for an extra $1, screwing over the people who just want to watch sports. Also, guess what? ESPN, your app is garbage. It kicks me out all the time.
That is true.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Just figure it. Like, it seems like the only one who gets screwed over in all this shit is the consumer. The guys who just want to watch sport. Can we just pay? Can there just be like a select, like, people who really love sports? Just let us pay for one app that has everything. I don't care who gives it to you, but just give us everything. Right? Why doesn't that exist?
The sports channel.
I'll pay a premium just to be able to watch every game in multi-view.
That's kind of the end. Capitalism has ruined the version of capitalism that we have, this crony capitalism. It has ruined everything. I've done this rant before, so I won't do it again, but everything that you don't like is capitalism. And most of you blame it on socialism. I saw a meme the other day where this guy's like, I taught my kids about socialism on Halloween. I sent them out, they got all their candy, and when they came home, I took the candy for them and taught it was socialism 101. And the ratioed response, because he got blown out of the water, was like, socialism was the part that fed your children. Capitalism was the part where you stole it from them. You don't understand. None of you understand any of this. If they just tell you it's socialism, you're like, socialism bad. All right. Ash said the federal plans administered by BCBS, which I think is Blue Cross Blue Shield, that are funded and paid for by the government show that universal health care can work. They cover most everything at 100% and are very reliable for paying the claims, while commercial plans try and deny everything. Good point. All right. By the way, and everybody here, Jason said that. This is why I went to a hack service. Was tired of playing Sportsnet up here in Canada and getting game blacked out. Yeah, a lot of people are now just like streaming this stuff illegally. It's not affordable, and then they lose customers, so they raise the price. Rather than the capitalists fixing the system or fixing the product and creating a better product for you at a competitive price, they lose customers, so they raise the price on everybody else, and they don't take any of that money and make the product better. Where has socialism worked? The United States of America. That's where, Jeffrey. You ever heard of Medicare? You ever heard of Social Security? You ever heard of the police? You ever heard of the fire department? You ever heard of public education? Here is where it has worked, Jeffrey. We are not a capitalist country. That's a lie. This is a mixed economy, just like every other country. You know what other country's not a capitalist country? Fucking all of them. You know what other country isn't a socialist country? Fucking all of them. There's no such thing as a socialist country or a capitalist country. None of those things exist. They just tell you that so that you will oppose socialism, because that's what the capitalist daddies that have all the money want you to fight against. They don't want the government to spend money on you. They want the government to spend money on them. So they scare you about socialism while they take money from the government. There are zero capitalist countries. There are zero socialist countries. I am tired of having this discussion every day. I don't know where the fuck any of you went to school. This isn't, even if you look at our capitalism, even if you look at Amazon, you look at Tesla, you look at Microsoft, you look at Apple, that's not even capitalism. That's crony capitalism. Those are monopolies. We don't have a capitalist society. You don't live in a capitalist country. Stop arguing about socialism sucks. I prefer capitalism. Cool. Then advocate that we fix our country. If we had actual free markets here, if there were actual protections against monopolies, then you guys might have an argument. And our country would be better. If the stuff that you guys advocated for when it came to free markets and free trade, without borders, our country would be better. Some of my socialist friends wouldn't like it, but they would like it better than what we have now. Because what we have is the worst of everything. Because the rich people want to keep all the money. So I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that dumbass talking point. You guys should grow out of that. Everybody here is an adult. Stop saying dumb shit on the internet because you've heard somebody else say dumb shit on the internet. Look something up once in a while. Why would I complain about capitalism if we don't live in a capitalist country? Because capitalism is what's causing the problem. You can have capitalist, Jesus Christ, this is crazy. You can have capitalism inside of a country that also has socialism, and they could be mixed together. That's what a mixed economy is. But the capitalism that we revere here so much, and the people that we celebrate, the billionaire class, that's what sucks. Those people make everything shittier. So I'm talking about your version of, like our version of what we call capitalism. Fair criticism. As I criticize everybody else for saying capitalism, I wasn't clear on that. That's actually a fair criticism. Crony capitalism. Crony capitalism that we call capitalism here, and free market capitalism, is what's killing everything. Every industry is just a bunch of monopolies destroying it. And the people like Peter Thiel, he tells people this. You can go find clips of him saying this all the time. He said, if you're going to start a company, start one that can become a monopoly. Don't start a company that has competition. You want to start a company that eventually can become a monopoly. And that's what he's done with all of his companies. He starts a company, and that's why Elon Musk wound up at PayPal. Is because you had PayPal, and then Elon Musk had another payment processor. And even though it sucked, PayPal's like, we're not going to compete with them. We're just going to buy them. Now we're a monopoly. And they quietly buy up all these. Don't they own, is it Cash App or Venmo? Doesn't PayPal own one of those as well? I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Venmo. Yeah, PayPal owns Venmo. Who owns Cash App? Cash App is owned by Block, which is Square. Okay. Thank you. Just a reminder, guys, we're crowdfunding. I appreciate it. We haven't said much today, and you guys have been donating. I appreciate that so very, very much. We're crowdfunding. We have a gift goal every single day. If you could help us knock that out, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, a reminder, this is our last show of the week, but on Monday, in Discord, we're going to be watching Newsies. And in order to join that stream on Discord's free, but in order to get into the stream watching the movie, you need to be a paid subscriber either on TikTok, YouTube, or Twitch. I don't know if I've been clear about that. I don't remember who it was yesterday that asked for clarification on that. But you have to be a member of Discord, which is free, but you need to be a paid subscriber to watch the movie with us. We'll be doing that Monday. I think it's 5 PST. So look forward to seeing you guys there. Make sure I would get the membership. I signed up today. We use like an integration system where it pulls your membership from any of these other apps, and then it gives you like a role in Discord. But sometimes that doesn't work very well. And so if you do it last minute, it's kind of hard to get you in last minute, trying to scramble and find people to come in last minute. So make sure you're a paid member on one of those sites if you want to come watch the movie with us. Every other week on Monday nights, we do a members-only event, and they're a good time. And this time I'm going to make sure my microphone works, which will make it even better. All right. Federal prosecutors have opened up a case against Muriel Bowser, which was expected. But if you don't think this is the dumbest shit you've seen all day, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what you're watching. Justice Department is said to be investigating D.C. mayor over a foreign trip to Qatar. It says the investigation, which is being handled by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, has been underway for months, but could face significant hurdles because of known facts of the case and recent turmoil inside of the Justice Department. This week, the FBI agent who was leading the investigation was fired by the Trump administration for having taken part in a criminal inquiry into Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election. The public corruption unit inside the prosecutor's office that would typically be responsible for pushing the case forward has also been damaged by a series of dismissals and resignations stemming from Trump's efforts to seek revenge against the Justice Department and his perceived enemies. Remains unclear how far the investigation into Ms. Bowser, a Democrat who served as Washington's mayor since 2015, has advanced since it was open, but the people familiar with the inquiry said it was based on potential violations of bribery or campaign finance laws. Basically, what she did is she took a trip to Qatar. And they're alleging that she didn't pay for that trip to Qatar. Same thing, kind of the same thing they got Eric Adams for. How many members of Congress have taken a free trip in the last 3 months to Israel? How many? Hundreds. Hundreds of people. You know who else takes money from Qatar? Donald Trump. $2 billion has funneled into his company from Qatar. They gave him a jet. If you can't see the fuckery here, I don't know what to tell you. This is obviously just an attempt to get revenge against people that Donald Trump doesn't like. They're all taking gifts. They're all taking bribes. But nobody is taking more bribes than Donald Trump, and he's using his Justice Department to go after this? I bet they don't investigate anybody who went to Israel. We never do. Even people in city government have had trips to Israel. That's true. Like local, state, city governments. They talked about it. That's the Mamdani debate. Every one of them. I don't remember which guy it was, but they were like, where will you go? He's like, I will look forward to taking my first trip to Israel. He already knew that if he won the mayoral race, that Israel would call him and be like, hey, come on over. We'll pay for everything. We'll even we'll send you a plane. Pretty cool, huh? Because I'm not jealous of going to Israel. I would like free trips, though. I'll take free trips, but I don't work for the government. And it's just ironic. It's just ironic to watch like this government be like, we really need to work on corruption. Some people are taking bribes from foreign countries. Oh, you don't say? Jesus, go ahead and let me know what I'm lying about. And by the way, for any Republicans that are in here that aren't cowardly little bitches, you're welcome to come up here and talk to me at any point. You message Jen, JENNDUBB1 on Discord. She can bring you up. If you don't know how to use Discord, that's not surprising, given the fact that you're Republicans. Maybe talk to your incel children, and they'll help you out with that. All right, I want to show you this. Patrick Bet David is another idiot. I don't know why all of your like biggest content creators are like legitimately idiots. This is Patrick Bet David and his crew reacting to a viral video. The video that they're reacting to, I forget the two guys' names, but I actually really like I watch their YouTube shorts maybe as much as anything. Like if I'm taking a shit, there's a good chance I'm watching the people that they're reacting to. They do it'll be like rank these 5 things blindly without knowing what comes next. And it'll be like rank these 5 breakfast foods blindly without knowing what comes next. And I don't know their names. You guys have probably seen all of them. But they did a breakdown of how much of your money you keep after taxes in New York. And watch Patrick Bet David's crew, Vinny especially. Vinny, who is on CNN all the time, who Republicans have kind of like put up as like, this is our guy. He's dumber than I thought.
Ask the question. If you made $1.5 million, Adam, you can't participate in this for a second. Just hear me out.
Okay. If
you made $1.5 million, I'm going to ask Vinny. In New York City, if you made $1.5 million, how much do you think you keep?
From $1.5 million?
Yeah. We have a progressive tax, so just kind of think about what do you think it would be that you take home?
Take home?
Net take home pay.
35 to 40%?
No. That's going to be,
Yeah. 70 to 75% of your money. For sure, Vinny. For sure.
It's going to be more than that. But what do you give me the dollar amount? What do you think that you take home?
Out of that?
$1.5 million. Tom, what do you think you take home?
1.1?
You're going to be somewhere around $700,000.
Okay, watch this clip. Go ahead, Rob.
Here's what a $1.5 million salary looks like in New York City. So if someone makes $1.5 million, you don't take home all that money. Correct. You probably take home, if I had to guess, $900K. Okay, we'll see. Federal tax.
I am concerned because I like these guys. I'm concerned that nobody knows what like our tax rates are. Maybe it's just a political thing. Maybe I wouldn't know if I wasn't involved in politics. But like I also pay taxes. I've been in the top tax bracket before. I'm aware of what taxes are. I don't know why people are so surprised by that.
That's how much it costs. If you live in New York City, that's a huge one. I'm going to say it's 30% of your salary. Okay.
Real quickly. If you live in New York City, it's a huge one. It's a huge one no matter where you are. It's the federal tax rate. It doesn't change based on what state or city you live in. It's federal. I mean, I'm concerned about like the education system in America. But then listen, you'll hear them obviously not know, and then listen to Patrick Bet-David's crew laugh like this is like it's the first time they're hearing this.
If you live in New York City, that's a huge one. I'm going to say it's 30% of your salary. Okay, roughly 33%. It's $506,470. So already you're not a millionaire. Correct. That's stupid. Next is state tax.
Do you hear Patrick Bet-David and Vinny laughing? That's everywhere. That in Florida, it's the same. No matter where you are, if you make 1.5 million, your federal rate is the same. They're using it to mock New York. Now it gets a little better.
The last one I'll have you guess. Okay, I'm going to say 5% of your salary. I can't do the math off my head. I think it's closer to 10 to 15. State tax is 100.
I think it's 11% is what Mom Donnie is pushing it to. I think it's like 9 or 10% now, but I think Mom Donnie wants it to go to 11.
$143,978. Jesus.
Then
you have city tax,
9.5.
$57,705
on the island, Manhattan.
They have a city tax to live in New York City.
Yeah.
That's why why don't you just live in Jersey City? Next, you have Social Security, which is $10,918. Then you got to pay for Medicare, which is $33,450.
Okay, Medicare, that's the same anywhere.
$50. Paid family leave, it's a fraction. It's only $355. Still, it's money. That comes to a total tax percentage of 50.2%, which is $752,876.
So you're at 7. No. That's not what Vinny said, Mind Hack Life. He said, how much will you keep? He said 30 to 35% is how much you would keep. Right? So I said it's not 70 to 75%. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, I said 70, 75%. Oh, there you go. Yeah, maybe. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I thought he said 25 to 30. Didn't he not say 25 to 30? We'll go back. You might be right about that.
Making less than half of the money that you earned that year. Correct. The money you earned that year, your net income would be $747,124.
Mom Donnie wants to take $9 billion of it out.
Here's the part that they leave out. This is a salary comparison. It's factored in. You know what else happens in New York City? No matter what job you have, you probably get paid way more in New York City than you do anywhere else. This is a comparable salary annually in New York. So this is, I think this is just taking like all jobs, if I remember right. Yeah. You can see here, like the New York average, 106,000, 113,000 would be the 75th percentile. But then if you look at the median, it's 87,000. But then there's comparable jobs all over the country that pay 76 to 86,000. There's this is 5% of the jobs pay 66,000, and 7% of the jobs pay 56,000. You make more money there. So yeah, you get taxed more, but then you also make more. Yeah, that works. It's like these guys have never. I mean, Patrick Bet-David. This is his thing. He always talks about like he understands finances. Then why didn't everybody leave already? Yeah, that's right, Craig Marsh. We are here for Sharia law. Craig hasn't been here long. Craig doesn't know how I feel about all religion, including Islam. I don't think religion has any place in law. But you get too scared of Sharia law. They're not going to do Sharia law. Stop being a bitch. Honestly, like if you're somebody who is afraid that like a Muslim being in office means Sharia law is on its way, two things. One, you're a bitch. Two, you don't understand any of this. You don't understand how laws are made. Of course, it's not going to be Sharia law. You think the people in New York are just going to allow Sharia law to take over? Just because they elected somebody who's Muslim? You think suddenly all of them are like, well, we did vote for him, so we might as well also vote for Sharia law. You know, a mayor can't do that, right? A mayor can't just like unilaterally put in Sharia law. Do you know what country we live in? I have the same problems with Sharia law that I have in red states that push their religion. Like in Oklahoma, for example, when they shove their religion into the law. I've got a problem with that too. I'm not more afraid of Sharia law than I am of Christian nationalists. I think I was watching a clip yesterday. I may even have it. I think I might have saved it because I remember I was watching it while I was My daughter was doing cartwheels. Let me see if I saved it. I mean, Mom Donnie's not advocating for that, but I've got Christians in this country who are advocating for Christian law, which means stripping away the rights of women. Let me see if I can find. I'm pretty sure I saved it. There's a lot of Trump clips I saved yesterday. Man, if I showed you all the Trump clips I had, here it is.
I think so, and here's why. Nearly every legalized moral atrocity of the last 100 years was made possible by...
This is, by the way, this guy's name is Dale Partridge.
The female vote. Abortion and homosexuality would likely still be illegal if not for the female vote. Mass immigration in the welfare state.
Bob, Mom Donnie was elected 2 days ago. You don't know if people are leaving New York. Nobody knows that. People might leave New York. Nobody knows if people are leaving New York. Stop. Just do you guys ever think for yourself, Bob? Bob, have you ever thought for yourself one fucking time in your life, or do you just repeat the shit that you've heard? And by the way, if rich people leave New York, that drives the price of housing down. So this affordability crisis that he has to raise taxes for, he wouldn't have to do that. If all of these people suddenly left, if you had a mass exodus of 1 million people and they were wealthy, the cost of housing would go down. So then he wouldn't have to increase the taxes. Win-win. The reason you have to increase the taxes is because people can't afford to live there. So if you're not going, so you can either increase taxes or you can create more availability. They're going to build. That's going to take a few years, or a bunch of people can leave. That would be great. That provides an economic boom and economic opportunity for everybody in New York. And then they're going to go to Florida. They're going to fuck up that state. They're going to New York to Florida. Because what you guys don't understand is that the reason that New York is expensive has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with economics. Why is it that the richest place or the most expensive places to live in this country are all Democrat-run cities? Why is it? Is it because of their policies? No, it's because there's lots of people there. And lots of people want to live there. And lots of people from different cultures want to live there. And when you wind up in a melting pot with different cultures, you wind up being more progressive. The reason conservative areas are rural is because there's not a lot of diversity there. There's not diversity of thought. There's not diversity of belief. And so people wind up feeling like their way is the only way because that's the only way they know. But the most expensive places to live are the places where everybody wants to go. And so now when Florida has become, you can see it, Florida has become a hotbed, Texas has become a hotbed. And what has happened to the cost of living in Florida and Texas? It's skyrocketed. Why? Because more people came there. Is it because they brought liberal policies? No, Ron DeSantis is still governing like Ron DeSantis. Greg Abbott is still governing like Greg Abbott. But the prices went up. How did that happen? If all these high prices are due to liberal policies, then how come when these people leave those liberal places and go to conservative places with conservative policies, why does the pricing go up? Because it's simple, it's supply and demand. But you've all been indoctrinated to believe that these cities that are expensive to live in are expensive because of democratic policies. I'm 39 years old. My entire life, we have lived under Republican economic policies, trickle-down economics. Obama was under trickle-down, like we did trickle-down economics under Obama, under Bush, under Clinton, under Reagan, under Carter. We've been doing Republican right-wing economics since Ronald Reagan. We haven't changed it. And these big cities that get really expensive, the rich get really rich, and the people that are poor don't have enough money, and then they don't raise the wages because there's no control over the wages, so then they have to increase taxes just to make it so the bottom can actually live, so they can afford to live. And then when these rich people who have made fortunes because they get to live in New York City, you know why they live in New York City? Because they can get filthy fucking rich there. There's a lot of opportunity. That's why they don't live in Omaha. That's why they don't live in Des Moines. There's not opportunity for that. But then they get all this money, and then somebody comes in and is like, hey, look, you guys have all this money, and New York allowed you to get this much money because it's a great place for opportunity, but we've got all these people who are struggling, so we're going to have to tax you a little bit more. And they're like, what? I earned this. I'm going to go to Florida. And you're going to go to Florida, and you're going to run into the same problem. And Ron DeSantis is very nearsighted. He's literally talking about ending property taxes in Florida. Good luck. Good luck, Florida. You're going to have an affordability crisis. You already have an affordability crisis there. You already have skyrocketing homelessness. And you're not going to raise wages because you won't raise the minimum wage because we got to be the pro-business state. You are going to be New York soon. And you know what's going to happen? After Ron DeSantis fucks this whole thing up, you're going to start electing Democrats. And Democrats are going to come in and they're going to start paying for things like SNAP and things like state Medicaid, and they're going to pay for insurance and things like childcare. And then people in Oklahoma are going to be like, yeah, I used to like Florida, but now it's become a liberal hellhole where the poor people get benefits. And then eventually, like, Oklahoma will be, everybody in Florida will get rich, and they'll be like, I don't want to pay for poor people. And Oklahoma will say, hey, come over here to Oklahoma. And then they'll go to Oklahoma. And then the same thing will happen. It's happening in Utah. It's happening in Idaho. It's happening in Arizona. It's happening in Dallas, Houston, Austin, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all of these places. This is what's happening. This is economics. It's not politics. The sooner you guys figure that out, the better. But blaming New York being expensive on Democrats is just like a fundamental misunderstanding of how finances and economics work.
Would likely still be illegal if not for the...
Sorry, back to the Christian nationalists. That is way worse than Sharia law.
The female vote. Mass immigration in the welfare state rode on the backs of the female vote. Nearly every modern Democrat, including Obama and Biden, were elected because of the female vote. Even last night, the new Muslim New York City mayor, Mondami, won specifically because of the female vote. The 19th Amendment has been a moral and political tragedy for America, but why? Women were not made to lead, but to follow and to feel. This is God's design, and it's good within the family and the household. But emotions cannot be what is used to rule and govern a nation.
I don't know. I don't know how to say this, man. Women, you already know this, but like, we're far more emotional than women. Far more emotional. It's just that the emotion isn't usually compassion or empathy. And so we call women emotional. Every time I talk to one of you guys, you crash the fuck out and start screaming racial slurs. Every time. Every time a debate doesn't go your way when I talk to you, you crash the fuck out and you start screaming. Men are far more emotional than women by miles. Men have trouble regulating their emotions, and we look at emotions like rage and anger and aggression, and we're like, that's just what men do. Like, we literally explain away our emotions, and then women are like, I don't like that poor person doesn't have money. And we're like, oh yeah, that's the thing. Women are weak. Men are far more emotional. That's a silly fucking thing to say. Every time I talk shit on here, somebody like wants to fight me. You know what never happens? Literally, no. In the 3 years I've been doing this, not one single time has somebody come into my DMs that was a woman and threatened me and screamed like slurs at me. Every time I make one of you guys mad, you're in my DMs like calling me gay slurs. Every time. You guys, you can't handle it. You crash out all the time. It's true. We're more emotional. Let's just own that. We haven't been taught to regulate our emotions. Women have been forced to regulate their emotions over centuries because men come home from work and they had a bad day and they don't know how to handle it, so they just scream at their wife and their kids. And you got the wife like, all right, kids, let's go. Dad just had a bad day. We got to give him a beer and let him calm down. I'll gentle parent dad too, just like I gentle parent you. That's how our culture has worked. And I don't care. Like, emotions are fine. I think it's okay to have emotions. I think it's okay to get mad. It's okay to be angry, but understand it and try and regulate it. This idea, though, that women are far more emotional because they have compassion is a silly, silly thing.
Be what is used.
See how mad they are in the chat? Do you see it? Like, look at them in the chat right now. You guys are freaking the fuck out right now because I said you're emotional. We're not emotional. Well, shut up. Shut up, bitch. You're a clown. I'm not emotional. You're emotional. Women are emotional. Shut up, bitch. Every time. Every fucking time. You're doing it right now. You can't be like, I'm not emotional, and then freak the fuck out in the chat. Come on, let's just be honest.
To rule and govern a nation. Statistically and generally speaking, women vote for whatever feels most kind or peaceful or safe to their emotions. Women crave security and comfort, and whoever promises those things wins their loyalty. The problem is evil men know this, and they exploit it. For example,
Trump. Oh, no, it's not Trump.
Women are twice as likely to men to be seduced into an affair.
That was my favorite part. Women are twice as likely as men to be seduced into an affair. Well, that means men are twice as likely to try and seduce a woman that is married. That means men are at least twice as likely to go out and try and break up a marriage. or break up their own marriage. It's true. That's the weirdest reversal of statistics I've ever seen. Women are twice as likely. Reverse engineer that, please. Please. Well, they fell for it. The men were the ones suggesting it, but sometimes the women fall for it. So they're actually the problem. Boys will be boys. That's what men do. They think with their dicks. True. But don't. You know, like maybe don't. Maybe just chill. Maybe like masturbate. I don't know. Masturbation is a sin. Man, we have fucked this whole thing up with each other. To be honest, we have really fucked this whole thing up with each other. We can't share feelings with each other. We can't be honest with each other. We have to pretend that like we're not emotional like psychopaths, which we all are. We all struggle with this. This is silly. I don't know who the fuck. This guy needs a hug. He needs a hug and he needs to chill. But I'm supposed to worry about Sharia law? You know how many people are like this? Like every day. Every day I come across a video saying that women shouldn't be allowed to vote or work from a Christian conservative man. I honestly, I don't know that I've ever seen a video of a Muslim American advocating for Sharia law. I don't think I've ever seen that. I was supposed to believe that Obama was going to do that, even though Obama's not Muslim. When I was a Republican, that's what they told us, is that Obama was going to bring in Sharia law. Ilhan Omar was supposed to do it. I don't know what happened to that. She's out here, fucking Ilhan Omar's out here advocating for Sharia law while like speaking publicly and holding office and being a leader, which makes sense of that. I don't know. I don't know how Ilhan Omar was going to do that, but I see this every day. I'm far more concerned in this country about Christian nationalism than Sharia law. Until I see a politician or a podcaster advocating for Sharia law that has traction, I'm not going to worry too much about it. But I would oppose both of them. And you should oppose both of them. If you don't like Sharia law, then you should also not like this.
They are 26% more likely to be financially scammed online. They are 3 times more likely to fall prey to psychics and tarot card readings and astrology and mediums.
I like this one. If you do tarot cards, astrology, and mediums, and you like, if you're afraid of that, but then you're a Christian or you're religious at all, like, there's no difference between those things and religion. And the people that do those things believe in it just as much as you believe in it. See how see the problem here? This is exactly like Sharia law. They think there's only one way. And if we don't get our way, we're going to have to force it. And these fucking women keep voting against the Christian nationalism that I want. So what are we going to do about it? Are we going to have good arguments? We are not. We are going to get rid of women's right to vote.
The same emotional vulnerability that shows up there also shows up in politics. Many call it suicidal empathy. So I believe that we should...
Real quick, show me the world leader that's a woman that has started a war. I'll wait. Give him to me. Which world leader currently that is a woman is starting wars? Well, yeah, they might not start wars, but they do even worse things. Like what? Provide medical care, universal health care. Ever heard of it? Socialism. Ever heard of it? I don't think it's like, I'm just saying, like, I'm a man. I want to be with the boys sometimes, but we got to be honest. It's not women that have done this. It's men. Men have done all of this. Every problem in this world currently is men. I'm not that worried about if women are more likely to be scammed online. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll take him at his word. I don't care if women are more likely to do tarot readings or energy work. I don't care about any of that stuff either. I'm more concerned about men going to war all the time for I don't know why. Oil, I guess.
Return to the household vote, where women share their thoughts with their fathers or their husbands, and the men in their life make the final decision. Men are not perfect, but they are far more fit to rule with logic, and they are less likely to be deceived in political matters.
What they mean by that is they're more likely to make decisions solely based on money and power than women. That's what they're calling logic.
So, I don't believe that we should repeal the 19th Amendment because I don't love women.
No.
I believe we should repeal the 19th Amendment because I love America and I love American women enough to...
I love you so much that I'm going to shut you the fuck up. I love you so much that I'm taking away your rights. This was the argument as a Mormon that we were taught to teach people door to door. The reason that the Mormons practiced polygamy is because women didn't really have rights and their husbands were all being killed. And so these brave men who didn't want to practice polygamy started marrying these women. And some of these women were 13 years old. And yeah, they had sex and had children with them, but they didn't want to. They just needed to. It was important. And then we find out, like, oh, the men weren't being killed. They were being sent to their death. Like, Joseph Smith would find, like, a woman that he liked that was married, and he would get them converted to the Mormon church, and then he would send the husband to, like, Europe, and it's on, like, a 5-year mission, and then he would impregnate their wife and marry them. And then when the husband got mad, he'd be like, what the fuck? Joseph Smith would be like, listen, lady, I just talked to God, and... you know as well as I do, God said I had to impregnate you. Your husband obviously isn't following God's word, or he would agree with us. And so then the husband would just be gone. So they would just get divorced. And the husband would be like, this motherfucker. And then everybody in the church is like, that guy's just bitter because he doesn't listen to God's word. They also did this when we used to teach people that black people in the Mormon church couldn't have the priesthood. They didn't have the ability to teach. And what we told people is they're like, why didn't black people get the priesthood? And we say, well, in America, despite what we believe in America, you didn't have as many rights as a black person. So it wasn't fair to have black people hold positions of power in our church because they didn't have rights. And then later on, I'm like, wait, hold on. We gave black people the right to hold the priesthood in 1978. I think we were a little late on that. 78's a little late. Black people had rights long before that. And you know what actually happened? The BYU football team was being boycotted by basically every other football team. They're like, if you guys aren't going to give black people the priesthood, we're not going to play you in football. And since it's owned by the Mormon church, the Mormon prophet at the time is like, hey guys, you won't believe it. I just got back from talking to God, and God said, I guess it's time to give black people the priesthood. And all the Mormons were like, what a blessing from God. God is good. This is wonderful. See, this is proof that this God is the true God. It's this type of shit. Like, I'm just sorry. If your religion teaches you gender roles at all, then it's just conditioning. It's just propaganda. It's just a cult. But please don't try and scare me about Sharia law when this shit exists. Pete Hegseth believes this shit. Pete Hegseth doesn't think women should serve in the military. Pete Hegseth would vote to take away women's right to vote. So would J.D. Vance. They all would. I don't give a goddamn about Sharia law. Not until we fix this problem, or until Sharia law becomes a bigger problem, until we have like a bunch of podcasters out there pushing Sharia law, and we start getting elected leaders who are openly advocating for Sharia law. Then we can talk about it, and I'll be just as outraged. But I'm not more worried about Sharia law than Christian nationalism. They're both goddamn awful. All right. Where were we at? Let me read some comments actually real quick. Danielle said, anyone making over $176,000 only pays $10,900 in Social Security tax because of the SSI cap of $176,000. So millionaires and billionaires only pay $10,900. FDJT said, are we not counting crypto as a scam? I might have left it out. Matt said, you make more, so you pay more taxes. That's my favorite thing to do when I make more money. Also, you have no idea the impact at 1 million high-earning people leaving a city would do to the economy. Yeah, I do, Matt. What would it do to the economy? It would bring in less taxes. Great. But there would also be less people to take care of because it would drive down prices. And also, that many people aren't going to leave the economy. We'll see. You would have to make a change. Like New York City would have to infuse some cash. They'd probably have to raise taxes. To make up for the lost tax revenue. But ultimately, it would be a reset that you can overcome. It wouldn't be devastating by itself, but it would be a one-time pain. However, you guys don't seem to understand the impact of those same people moving into a new economy. You don't seem to understand the impact that the movers would do to wherever they go. I lived in Utah. I know what happens. I saw what happened to affordability in Utah County in the Silicon Slopes. I watched houses go from $100,000 and everybody could afford one to $600,000 and nobody could afford them, and everybody became a renter unless you were a high income earner. It works both ways. And that's a good point. Nobody's fleeing New York on a 2% tax. They do this every time. They never wind up believing, and if they do, that's some real bitch shit. Julian said if Sharia law was rebranded towards the Christian right, they would agree with everything Sharia law wants. Yeah, cover your shoulders. I don't really understand why women need to show their face. Why don't all women have long hair? The only difference between Sharia law and Christian nationalism law is that like Christian nationalists would be like, you also need to get some new tits. You're gonna have to do that. Botox. Everybody's dyeing their hair blonde. Got it? Yeah. And women are required now to work out all day, every day, and still have 13 children. No going, yeah. No going to the gym. Like they'd all be in baggy sweats to go to the gym. My wife isn't allowed to wear leggings. Other men might look at her the way I look at other women and try and seduce her. I don't know what insane amount of housing being built around here. I don't know where you're at. Maybe are you in Florida? All right. Jen, were you trying to break in?
Yep.
Oh, what's up?
You've got people big mad over on YouTube.
I like
big mad.
I like when notice the incels all travel together too.
Well, we got a whole group, and we're all going to come in here and say gay slurs together. And then we're going to go back to Discord and talk about how we twiggled them.
This is my least favorite of your voices that you do.
You don't like that one?
No, I don't know. It's the baby voice kind of a thing.
All right.
There's a handful of things that, maybe not a handful. There's a lot of things that make my eye twitch, and it's one of them.
You want to let it out? You want to let them all out?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't have enough time in the day. And we don't have enough time.
All right.
So, today is Friendly Friday, everybody. So typically we start, and we're supposed to start in like 30-ish minutes. We've got to
It'll be about an hour.
I'll go
late today. We'll start it in an hour.
Okay. Well, I wasn't done speaking.
Sorry.
Here's me being an emotional woman.
Look how emotional she is, guys.
Look.
I'm starting to agree with Christian nationalism already.
So while I'm doing my little announcements, Jay's going to update the gift goal, make sure that total's current. So before we get to Friendly Friday, Friendly Fridays where most of YouTube will lose their shit because we'll have people come in and say nice things, and you guys all hate that. Mm-hmm. So the last hour or so of the show, we try to bring people on because we don't typically bring on friends during the show. So before we get to Friendly Friday, we want to hit that gift goal. So Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Super Chats all go towards knocking out that remaining balance. This is our job. We do this each day, Monday through Friday, from 9:30 to 1 Mountain Time.
Yeah.
8:30 to noon Pacific Time. This is throwing me off because the time change. Arizona stays the same. I'm in California, and so I have to adjust the time. But anyways, like Jay mentioned, if you're a paid member on any of the platforms, you can join us for movie night on Monday, watching Newsies. You're going to have to link your Discord when you join to whatever platform is so you can get the role assigned. I haven't mentioned this in a while. I saw this before. If you're on Twitch, you can use your Amazon Prime sub for a free subscription. So you can use Base's money. You don't have to use yours. So there's all that. So check out the link tree in the bio. We're on most social media platforms. We've got merch. Jay's on Cameo, and we upload these episodes to Spotify. So I've got a little longer of a joke.
Okay.
A 70-year-old man was showing off his 23-year-old wife to his friends. When they asked, "How did you convince her to marry you?" he smiled. "Simple. I lied about my age by 25 years. His friends gasped. "You told her you were 45? The man laughed, shook his head. "Nope. I said I was 95.
Okay. Bob, just going to help you out here. Bob said, good. Bob, you got a stat correct, which I appreciate. So you've done some research. Let me help you with the rest of it. Bob said that I think, what was it, 480,000 New Yorkers left last year, and only 300,000 new residents came in to replace them for an overall migration loss of 180,000. And Bob, let me help you out, do some research. This is what you do. Then you go and you look at the reason that they exit. And did you know what the number one reason people left New York for was last year? It wasn't high taxes. It was high cost of living and unaffordable housing. Raising children was too expensive. That was those were the 1, 2, and 3 reasons that people left New York. It wasn't rich people who left, Bob. It was people who couldn't afford to live there anymore, Bob. So this 2% tax on rich people, that wouldn't have caused them to stay. Maybe that 2% tax that would have made things more affordable for them, they could have stayed there, because New York's a great place to live. I would love to live in New York. Maybe when I'm older, I will live in New York. It's fucking great. But Bob, all you got to do is when you see a stat, instead of saying, oh, that confirms what I already think, just do like a tiny bit more research. Why did these people leave? Was it because the taxes were too high? No, that was like the 5th reason. Most of the people left because of unaffordability. And yeah, some people left. And by the way, most of the people that left because of high taxes were people who were retired, not that were living there. Because if you're working in New York and you move someplace with lower taxes, you can't replace that income, because where you move, if it's cheaper, they're going to pay you less too. So most of the people that were leaving there because of taxes were retired people. That's fine. They're not really helping that much anyways. Send them down to Florida. Send them down there and let them retire. That's fine. I live in Arizona. I'm in the East Valley in Arizona, in Phoenix, where like almost of my neighbors are retired. And they came here originally because of the cost of living and because it's warm. That's why. Just look things up, Bob. I appreciate that you are already better than most of the people on this stream from the right, because you did some research and you got a statistic right. But just do like a little bit more research. Somebody asked the name of that pastor. It was Dale Partridge was the name of that pastor, which is a very Mormon name. I don't know if he's like a former Mormon. That's a very common Mormon name. I don't know where that's from, but a lot of Mormons with the last name Partridge. Mary said, because I freaking love this live. Thank you, Belinda, for the super chat. Amy Lynn said the poor pay more taxes and fees as a portion of their income. That's true. By percentage, poor people pay more taxes by percentage than rich people. And that's another one that like Republicans love to say, well, look who pays most of the taxes. Yeah, but look who pays the most of their income. It's not rich. Rich people pay the least amount of their income towards taxes, unless you're like somebody who's W-2. W-2 workers that make a lot, they do pay a lot in taxes because there's not a lot of tax breaks for them. But most of the wealthiest people are not W-2 employees. They're trying to get all of their income in so that they can pay one be self-employed so they can write stuff off, but they also want to pay capital gains rather than income tax. So there you go. Pierre, what did we lie about? I'm listening to you for a second while I pull up the next clip. Let me know what I lied about there, bud. All right, let's go to this. Republicans have a issue. Dave Rubin covered this, and he covered it by playing a clip of Vivek Ramaswamy. The issue that Republicans have right now is that they're finding out that their base is extremely racist. And they're finding that out when the base has started attacking J.D. Vance's wife and Vivek Ramaswamy and Jewish people. And so what we're going to have here is you're going to have Vivek Ramaswamy, who is attacked all the time from the right. In fact, if you remember this clip, like it's not even overt. I think it was Ann Coulter, wasn't it? Or was it, who's the other lady? Ann Coulter? Yeah. Vivek shouldn't be surprised by this. And I don't know what Vivek's doing. Vivek always tries to say, like, this is not who we are, Republicans, but this is who you are.
But I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian. But
yeah, remember that? Right to his face. And then Vivek says this.
Cut out the identity politics. It doesn't suit Republicans. It's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours.
It's yours. Newsflash, Republicans, it's yours, and it's always been yours. Identity politics is what you guys use to discredit people. What the woke left has done is said, like, hey, it doesn't matter what your identity is. You should get rights. And you guys go, fuck you. If you're gay, you shouldn't get rights. If you're trans, you shouldn't get rights. If you're Muslim, you shouldn't be able to hold office in this country. The woke identity politics is just us defending people who look differently than maybe you do, and saying they deserve rights regardless. It doesn't matter who you are, you deserve rights. And so you see things like pride and people with like Black Lives Matter. These are all ways of saying, like, let's include everybody. right? That we're gonna show solidarity with you. Me, a member who is not a member of the LGBTQ community, unless Stick's dad's around, and then count me in. Me, who is nothing like my genetics came back. I'm white as fuck, like European as fuck. So when I support other communities that I'm not a part of, that's just me saying I don't think I'm any more important than you. And the right's like, actually, we are more important than them because they look different and they believe in a different God, or they put their wiener in a different hole, and so they don't get rights. It's always been Republicans that were about identity politics. They just labeled it on the left because the left was standing up for equality. And Vivek and Dave Rubin and women are finding out real quick what their base is like. Their base doesn't like them very much.
Suit Republicans, it's not for us. That's the woke left's game, not ours. We don't care about the color of your skin or your religion. We care about the content of your...
Tell that to Mom Donnie. Tell that to Mom Donnie, please. Tell that to Fatah. Tell that to Ilhan Omar. Tell that to Jasmine Crockett. Tell that to Kamala Harris. Tell that to Barack Obama. It seems to be the only thing you guys talk about with these candidates.
Character, that's who we are.
Okay, so let me deal with the second part first. Obviously, there is no room for this identity politic lunacy on the right, and this is what he's really calling out right there is the endless assault that has been...
Dave Rubin has been posting 9/11 memes because Mom Donnie is in office. Now, that's not ideology. That's identity politics. Because democratic socialism had nothing to do with 9/11, so it certainly isn't about his policies. Tax increases on the rich had nothing to do with 9/11, so clearly it's not that. He's not Saudi, so it's not that. What is it? It's that he's literally been doing identity politics all day long. And then he's like, this is not for us. Why? Because they came at him. Because Dave Rubin has two things going in his identity that that the Republicans aren't big fans of right now. He's gay. He also adopted a child. And he's Jewish. It's a tough gig for Dave Rubin. Most anti-Semitism comes from the right. Anti-LGBTQ hate, that's from the right. The people that despise his identity are on his side. And this is somebody who used to say he was progressive. And he's like, I left the left because I don't like identity politics. Think he'll shift back? I doubt it. You know why? Because nobody gave a fuck about him when he was on the left. Because he doesn't say anything. He's kind of just a dumb guy. But on the right, he was able to use his identity politics. The only reason any of you know who Dave Rubin is because he came over from the left as a gay Jewish man and went to Glenn Beck and was like, actually, you guys are right. It is this identity politics. I'm with you, even though you would think I would be on the left because I'm a gay Jewish man. Actually, I'm a free market capitalist. He calls himself a traditional liberal. I'm like the liberals of old. Well, all those attacks didn't come from us. They're all coming from inside your own house, bud.
Coming from certain quarters on the right, mostly at the Jews, but by the way, it's been on the Indians too. He is getting a crazy hit. You know, he posted a picture with his kids who obviously are Indian and was getting hit by the same people that are going after the Jews all the time. And JD's wife, Usha, who happens to be Indian and brown and not Christian, they were going after her too. So enough of that, guys. Enough already.
They're not gonna listen. No, they're not gonna listen. Because they are fucking racist as shit. Yeah, dude. What the fuck do you think? You think they're, oh, okay, Dave Rubin said it. I guess I'll stop. No, dude. They're going to come after him. And if you go to that original video and you look at the comments, it's literally people dropping gay slurs and anti-Indian and anti-Muslim slurs. It's the whole thing. The whole thing is an anti-Semitism. He got ratioed the fuck out in that video by all the racists on his side who are like, don't tell us what to think or do. We'll hate whoever the fuck we want. Fuck you, Dave Rubin. You're not with us anyways. We always knew you were a lefty playing identity politics. Same with Vivek. It's crazy. I don't know why these guys hang out on the left. I really don't, other than it's extremely, or on the right, other than it's extremely lucrative. Dave Rubin's probably got to do this for another few years. He took a bunch of Russian money, which was pretty cool for him. Just that, like, that is the epitome of grifter. Guys, don't do it anymore. They all proceed to do it. Okay, it's fine. I'll just be quiet. I'll just deal with it. We're not racist over here, though. Amy Lynn said they think because we celebrate fists, like first black president or firsts, like first black president or female majority leader. We didn't elect because of those things. We celebrate those first. Ty said, did you see Trump is pushing back against the order to fully fund SNAP? It's not the Dems? Yeah, I did. We'll cover that in a minute. Amy Lynn said Florida had record people leaving in 2023, still leaving. Yeah, for the same reason they're leaving in New York, affordability. And some people are leaving for political reasons. But the number one reason people are leaving Florida is affordability. Especially if you live near the coast and your house is going to get wiped out by a fucking hurricane. You can't get insurance on it. I think I read that one. Here, real quick. Wasn't me said, how does Moses make his coffee? He brews it. That's pretty good. All right. Remember this too. Just again to show. We showed the clip of Ann Coulter saying she would never vote for Vivek just because he's Indian. And here's a reminder of Dave Rubin. Thought his friend, he was about to do this thing with Ben Shapiro on the Rubin Report. And he's like, I'm going to bring in Ben Shapiro, my good friend, and I'm going to prove to all the haters that even though Ben Shapiro doesn't support gay marriage, he supports me, his friend, and he'll still be there for me. And boy, did it backfire.
Will you bake Rubin a wedding cake? Okay, so I mean, my answer is.
Well, I'm married already.
Right, he's married already.
But an anniversary. It was my anniversary last week. An anniversary cake would have been nice.
Right. So the answer is no. And
I would never bake you a cake. You gay bitch. No, I don't bake cakes for gays. He thought he was going to get a better answer than that.
The reason I won't is because as a religious Jew, I do not participate in activities that I believe are sinful.
And he would have done it kosher, the whole thing, man.
Oh,
yeah,
now I feel bad.
He would have done it for you.
You got me this close.
Putting that aside, you can't have David's kosher cake now. If we were having an anniversary party, would you come? If I was inviting all the crew that we all know, and we were just an anniversary party, we're just having a party.
Just coming over to celebrate. It's our anniversary. Come over. It's kosher. We'll salt the shit out of your meat. Matzo ball soup. Be good. Ooh, I'd go for some matzo ball soup. Sounds great right now, honestly.
And I'll even throw in some kosher food for you to make sure you don't have to bring your own food.
You know, honestly, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to think about it in the same way.
So that's interesting to me.
Yeah,
that's a difference.
It's not interesting. It's bigoted. It's bigotry. Interesting is what you say on the right when somebody's a bigot, like just an obvious bigot. You know what? Yeah, I'd have to think about that. Oh, that's interesting that you say that. No, it's just bigotry. Why are you surprised by that?
Well, not really, because again, if you're a religious person, and again, take it from the religious perspective. From the religious perspective, the question is, are you glorifying something that you think is sinful?
Yeah.
So, will you bake Reuben?
So you can't celebrate an anniversary of gay people. Yeah, every attack comes from their side. Now, Matt Walsh is having a hard time. That's not it. Matt Walsh is extremely racist, and he's been also posting like 9/11 memes. He made a movie called Am I Racist? I think it was called. And like at the end, he's like, "See, I'm not racist." And then like you just read his Twitter, you're like, "Oh no, I think you actually are racist." And he's not happy about Mamdani. He doesn't really know what to do with it. And the only thing he seems to be able to come up with is saying third world Islamic communist over and over. This was the name of his latest episode. New Yorkers hand their city over to a third world Islamic communist. It's like, all right, well, one time is fine. And then you look at some of his replies and engagements. Here he is responding to somebody who said, your Zio shill need to scapegoat Islamic and Arab immigration in order, in particular, is very transparent. He's getting attacked by the Groypers and the left. And he, of course, went to the well, which third world country are you posting from, excuse me. Republicans are consistently calling New York City, the richest city in our country and in the world, a third world hellhole, which is pretty wild. How can you be the richest city in the worworld and a third world hellhole? This is somebody, I'll play this clip here from Good Morning Britain. Very important. I haven't even watched it. I wasn't even going to play this clip, so I haven't seen it yet. I do know, is this the lady that, never mind, doesn't matter. Let's play the clip. I don't know what he says here. This makes me nervous when I see it. I'm always nervous when somebody that age starts talking about what has changed in a country. When you're that age, and you live either in America, this obviously is in Good Morning Britain, so this is probably in London. Most of the time, what's changed for a lot of these people is the existence of black and brown people.
What we fought for, and what we fought for. And my children.
I'm crossing my fingers that this winds up being a good answer. I'm not sure yet. I know what Matt Walsh's reaction is, so he could take it out of context. I'm fucking great. Yeah, good job. I love it. Sweet old man. Doesn't have a problem with women serving in the military. I think, all right, that was a good clip. I like that. How did Matt Walsh take it? This man fought for his country. Today he looks around and sees that it has surrendered itself to a third world Islamic invasion. Men like him, white men who built this country are demonized and scapegoated. And while Arab migrants rape and kill in the streets, the government focuses its energies on arresting people who say insulting things about trannies on the internet, a travesty of historic proportions. There you go, Matt. Matt watched that video and got that fucking racist and bigoted and transphobic from that video. Yeah, I didn't say any of that. He didn't say anything. Listen, I understand. I understand some of you are still, but I'm sometimes I think it's the impact of saying the word. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but he's using that word in that way. I might be wrong. I apologize for saying that word. All right. Then he's retweeting libs of TikTok. This one made me laugh, actually. They were so upset. Newly elected Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey gave his victory speech in Somalia. Oh no, he speaks multiple languages. Oh no. This is what the right is melting down. Don't talk to me about identity politics ever again on the right. Then this, Sneeko, he went after Sneeko. So he originally tweeted, Mamdani's win had nothing to do with the economy, nothing to do with whatever bullshit the pundits are selling. Mamdani won because he appealed to the tribal interests of the foreigners who have taken over the city. The longer that voters had lived in New York, the less they supported Mamdani. That's the whole story. Sneeko, who we've pointed out before, not a fan, but has left to the right because you guys are subservient to Israel, said, no, he won because he refused to sell it to Israel, something you have yet to do. Everybody knows it, and the more you blatantly avoid it, the more people distrust a so-called patriot like you. Where does your allegiance lie, Matt? What's Matt's response going to be, just to tie this all together? My allegiance certainly doesn't lie with third world Islamic communists and their brain-dead simps like you. You would happily sail the whole country down the river and embrace the destruction of our culture and our identity by anti-American barbarians. So long as the barbarians also hate Israel, I would say that you're an insidious phony, but I think you're too R-word to be as insidious as you seem. Anyway, my allegiance is to my country, the country that you couldn't give less of a shit about, that you have no stake in, and that you have nothing contributing, nothing to. Yeah, he's black. We know. We get it, Matt. You don't think he should be here either. We get it. That's what you guys are doing. Let's not play identity politics. It's the only game you guys have. You don't really have a different playbook. It's identity politics. So I don't know if looks like the Groypers might have left. They would love this. No way, Matt unironically used an M-dash. I'm going to skip the Patriot Awards. We didn't watch them last night, but they also don't care. I want to talk about Prop 50. There's a lot of chatter from Republicans that they are going to fight against Prop 50. They keep saying that it's unconstitutional. That word doesn't mean anything to Republicans. Like, the Constitution's irrelevant. We'll get to Donald Trump in open defiance of court orders. But this is something I didn't know. This is Mark Elias on with Chris Hayes, telling a story that has been a blind spot for me, apparently. And maybe it was a blind spot for you as well. But apparently, the courts have already heard the Prop 50 case multiple times.
The Republicans are going to sue to try to stop the California order. Do you think there's much to that lawsuit? What's your read on that?
They're going to lose. So just to be clear, California Republicans filed 2 cases already in the state Supreme Court, and the state Supreme Court didn't even wait for the state of California to answer before dismissing them. Then
That's the Supreme Court, right? This is the Republican-controlled Supreme Court. So before you guys blame an Obama judge or whatever, It's not. It's Republican judges. The Supreme Court's like, this is nonsense.
Jackson, MAGA congressman from Texas, he filed a lawsuit in Matthew Kaczmarek's courthouse. As you know, Judge Kaczmarek is a
I love Amarillo this time
Trump
of year.
Yeah, very conservative. He's oftentimes a place where if you're very conservative, you go to his courtroom and hope to get a hearing. Ronnie Jackson's lawsuit was dismissed, challenging the California map. Then Darrell Issa filed a lawsuit in the same courtroom in Texas, in Judge Kaczmarek's courtroom, and that was dismissed sua sponte. So this is actually now the 6th case that they have filed challenging the California map, and it will be the 6th defeat that Republicans will suffer.
I hear that it's glitching for some of you guys. Try and refresh. I don't know if it's glitching for everybody. Internet connection is strong. I don't see anything on Streamlabs. Like I said, I got an email from Streamlabs this morning saying that there were a bunch of known issues that they were working on. So we kind of expected it to be a nightmare today. It's been a nightmare all week, and hopefully they figured it out. But Streamlabs, I believe Streamlabs is owned by the same parent company as Twitch. Their Twitch integration is so much more smooth than YouTube and TikTok. So just a reminder. Every day that we've had problems, Twitch has been the one that has the least amount of problems. So if you want to watch this somewhere else, I highly recommend Twitch. And of course, it's the best chat in the game, so that they don't beat me up. Let me read some comments real quick. Ryan said, also thank you for all the laughs. Brett said, have you seen this Nicolette on TikTok? She's calling churches pretending to have a baby that is out of formula, and most are not offering help. A mosque sure offered help though. Crow actually sent me that the other day. I forgot to get back to him. I just haven't had time to go through all her videos. I watched one, and she called it a local church, and they were like, nah, we're not going to help you. Carrie said, I agree with Jen. Could we pay you to replace the baby voice? Maybe we take a vote on that. Ryan said, fuck these racist little bitches in the chat, weak-ass MAGA men. Thank you very much. And we got a little bit left in the goal, and we've got about 25 more minutes. We can knock that out. Then we'll get right to Friendly Friday, which will really disappoint all of the people who don't like me if you guys say nice things about me. Let's move on. Josh Hawley and Tom Tillis. There's a little. This clip's going to have both of them. Were asked yesterday about their concerns with the government shutdown, and specifically their constituents losing access to not only SNAP but also healthcare. And there seems to be a lot of cracks in the Senate. I think that the Senate probably has enough votes to say we want to extend the ACA subsidies. It's the House that seems to be standing strong for Donald Trump, which makes sense because they represent smaller districts. So when a senator is dealing with a state that's unhappy, they're going to hear from the whole state. But these folks in Congress, they don't hear from everybody, and it sounds like they're just ignoring those calls mostly, anyways. But there seems to be a lot of cracks in the Senate, and I'm going to show a bunch of clips from there. I would imagine today, over the weekend, the Senate is going to start putting pressure on Republicans to negotiate a deal to end the government shutdown, which, it's going to look bad for them. They've lost this battle. It's clear that the Democrats aren't going to give in. Democrats are going to win this negotiation, and Trump can either make it hell on everybody or give in. And I don't know. We'll see. I just don't think everybody's going to stand with Trump for too much longer.
Leaders are not talking right now.
Not that I know of. Yeah.
I mean, how much does that concern you?
A lot. I mean, a lot. As we're in day 37, as now thousands of people missing flights, millions of people going without. I mean, I just can't. To me, I mean, in this country, richest country on earth, a great, great nation, 40 million Americans going to bed at night hungry. How are we letting that happen?
The president seems to think that it's Republicans who are getting the brunt of the blame here. Do you agree with that assessment?
I think on any given day, either one is probably getting the blame. But I'll guarantee you, we won't be talking about this.
Untrue. Republicans in every poll are getting the blame.
Moment 12 months from now, we'll either be talking about good things that we've done here or bad things that we've done here. But very seldom are elections determined by a shutdown that happened a year ago. So these folks need to grow up, open the government, and understand that people like me and other Republicans are prepared to come up with a reasonable outcome for the Obamacare subsidies.
But why would anybody trust them? They cut these subsidies. They've been cutting off. They've said openly that this is what they want. Why would anybody trust? Why would you give up your leverage? Democrats aren't going to do that. And they shouldn't do that. Nobody should try. First of all, don't trust any politician. If this was reversed and Democrats were saying, open up the government and then we'll negotiate, Republicans would be correct to say, no, we're not going to give away our leverage. We're like, that's how we negotiate. And especially if it's a 70-30 issue like this, where Republicans were on the right side, where 70% of Americans wanted the ACA subsidies. If it was reversed, the same principle would apply. They definitely shouldn't lose their leverage. They should negotiate first. And the longer this goes on, the more it's going to hurt Trump. And that sucks. It fucking sucks that that's where we're at. That in order to get Republicans to get off their ass and do something, it has to hurt Trump, not their constituents, not them, not the party, not the country. It's only they only decide to change once it's hurting Trump, and then Trump goes, guys, this is hurting me. Do something about it, and then they will. Tanya says, happy Friday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you, Tanya. Let's go here. Trump brought in the, I don't know if it's the president of Kazakhstan, and they had a big press conference, and I'll get to the Kazakhstan part here in a minute, especially the part where Trump doesn't know the name of it. But I want to show you a couple clips before this. Trump's doing this weird thing now, because I mean, Trump's clearly deteriorating. He clearly doesn't really know what's going on. He clearly doesn't know how to message any of this stuff. He's far too generic, and his generic answers aren't good enough. So now, whenever anybody talks about the shutdown, he's just deferring to J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance isn't faring much better, except for that we can understand him. But first, Trump wants you to know that he doesn't want you to talk to him about how expensive your bills are, okay? He doesn't want to talk about affordability anymore, because everything's fine, everything's cheaper, and if you say otherwise, fuck you.
Talk about the cost of Thanksgiving and the cost of living through Thanksgiving and enjoying Thanksgiving. For Joe Biden, it was 25% more.
That's the Walmart story again. Remember when Walmart cut what they're offering in half and then lowered the price by 25%? And now Trump's like, see, cheaper
than it is for me. At a later time, our energy costs are way down. Our groceries are way down.
Nope.
Everything is way down. And the press doesn't report it. The press reports whatever the con people say. You know, I call the Democrats con men and women.
He's not even, his nicknames are slumping too. He used to have clever nicknames. They were like kind of clever. You know, like Little Marco, that was clever. Lion Ted, that was all right. You can't even do, I call them the con men and women people. Nice, Donald. Burned them.
They make up numbers. But when you look at 25% reduction in costs for Thanksgiving between Biden and me, meaning this administration, that's a tremendous number. That's a tremendous.
If your administration is like hanging your entire economic argument on Walmart cut the size of a Thanksgiving dinner in half and lowered it by 25%, you're in trouble. I hope you Republicans like look back at the election that we just had and how difficult it was for Harris and Democrats to tell people that although inflation wasn't at 9% anymore, that things had gotten better, that meant they were doing a good job. People, it was still unaffordable. So they all had hope with Donald Trump. He's going to make things cheaper. And now that he's not making things cheaper, he's doing the same thing Democrats did. Just telling people it is. It actually is cheaper.
It's the biggest reduction in cost in the history of that chart or whatever it is they do. That they do a synopsis of everything. They cover every element of Thanksgiving meals. 25% down. So I don't want to hear about the affordability because right now we're much less.
Yeah, shut the fuck up about your bills. Walmart Thanksgiving dinners are cheaper.
If you look at energy, we're getting close to $2 a gallon gasoline. With Biden, it was $4.50, $5. Another thing, inflation. We had the worst inflation in the history of our country. Now we have virtually no inflation at all. It's down.
We have 3% inflation. What are we talking about?
A very low number and a very normal number.
It's right at the top of normal. Any higher than it is now, and we will no longer be in ideal number range. And even at 3%, like we'd rather see it at around 2.5.
So the affordability.
Wind up frozen on YouTube. Okay, now here's where Trump's like, all right, I'm not talking anymore. We're just gonna have JD now. JD's gonna do all the talking. When asked about the Supreme Court or the court that has said you have to pay SNAP benefits, which obviously, as the executive branch, the check on you is Congress and the Supreme Court. So if the Supreme Court rules something that you did is unconstitutional, you can't do that unless it's this administration.
The federal judge said tonight that the administration has to fully fund SNAP. It's the latest in the back and forth, and the Justice Department said they're going to appeal it. What's your message to folks as they work this out in the courts and in Congress as we're heading into Thanksgiving?
You want to go with it?
Yeah, look, Jackie, it's an absurd ruling because you have a federal judge effectively telling us what we have to do in the midst of a Democrat government shutdown.
Yeah, that's how our government works. That's why there's 3 branches of government. Aren't you guys like the party of the Constitution? Does this bother any of you Republicans that they're saying, like, it's not fair that the courts are telling us that we can't do something? Well, who can tell you can't do something then? Who's allowed to tell you that? Nobody? Well, Donald Trump's not a king. He just gets to do what he wants.
Which what we'd like to do is for the Democrats to open up the government. Of course, then we can fund SNAP, and we can also do a lot of other good things for the American people. But in the midst of a shutdown, we can't have a federal court telling the president how he has to triage the situation.
Yes, they can. That's their job.
We're trying to keep as much turned on. We're trying to keep as much going as possible. The president...
He said turned on, and he started thinking about couches, and he gulped. Did you see that? Let's watch it again.
We're trying to keep as much turned on.
Couches.
We're trying to keep as much going as possible. The president and the entire administration are working on that, but we're not going to do it under the orders of a federal judge. We're going to do it according to what we think we have
Jesus Christ.
to do to comply with the law.
We're not going to trust the courts, whose job it is to interpret the law. We're just going to do what we think we should do. Fascism. 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 Imagine being an administration who can stand in front of your voters and say, we don't give a fuck what the courts say, what Congress says. We're going to do what we think is best. And the Republicans are like, yeah, stick it to the libs.
Of course, but also to actually make the government work for people in the midst of the Democrat government shutdown. If they would like to end this, we would be welcome.
We would be welcome. Here he is now. Now we're going to start threatening people. Not only are we not going to listen to the courts, but now, just if you guys think it hurts now, it's about to hurt a hell of a lot more, because the court told us to pay SNAP benefits and we said, get fucked. And that's what we're going to continue to do.
Fund. And the last thing that I'll say is the American people are unfortunately about to start suffering some very real consequences because of the shutdown. In the past, when you had a government shutdown,
Jeff, under Joe Biden, I was paying $4,362 per gallon of gas. Under Trump, it's 12 cents per gallon.
you would have, under the Obama administration, they would lean into all of the problems it was going to cause for the American people at the beginning of the shutdown. The president has told us to keep as much going as humanly possible. But after 30 days of this thing, 40 days of this thing, you're going to start seeing very real travel delays. That's because the Democrat government shut down. You're going to start seeing SNAP benefits run out. That's because the Democrat government shut down. They should stop this charade and open up the government. That's what we want them to do. We've been asking them to do it for 40 days. It's time.
All right. Now Trump brings in, I guess previous to this, Trump brings in the president of Kazakhstan. I don't remember his name. Kazakhstan now has signed on to the Abraham Accords, which should just again tell you that the Abraham Accords have nothing to do with peace. They have everything to do with an alliance that the United States is forming in the Middle East, and it's all about money. I don't know who writes the speeches for the president of Kazakhstan. It sounds like it was Stephen Miller, but all of these leaders know exactly what to say to Donald Trump. If you want something from Trump, just go in and blow him. Go in and say all the things he wants to hear. Watch as the leader, the president of Kazakhstan, reads what is sounds like a Trump campaign rally about a lot of stuff he would have no idea about, and watch Trump just sit there so happy that he's being given compliments, and now he's going to give Kazakhstan whatever they want.
Precisely 1 year ago, you achieved a landslide victory
Nobody would say that. Nobody would tell Donald Trump he achieved a landslide victory because he didn't. There's nothing historic about his victory. We've certainly seen bigger blowouts before. It wasn't a landslide. He won by like 3 billion votes. But they know that they have to say this stuff to him. It gets so much worse. Get some barf backs out.
Historic election, which was absolutely clean and fair.
How the fuck would the president of Kazakhstan know that our election was absolutely clean and fair? He doesn't. He just knows, and all these other leaders know. Come out here and just repeat Trump talking points, and he'll give you what you want.
And once again, my congratulations.
Thank you.
And my strong belief that, Mr. President, you are the great leader, statesman, sent by heaven to bring common sense and traditions that
You're the great leader sent by heaven to bring common sense and traditions back.
we all share and value back into the United States policy, either domestic or foreign. Therefore, millions of people in so many countries are so grateful to you. And I'm convinced that your wise and bold policy needs to be strongly supported worldwide.
Thank you.
Under your presidency, America is ushering in a new golden age. I commend your far-sighted vision of making America great again. This inspires me to pursue target-oriented strategy towards building just and strong Kazakhstan on the basis of my concept, law and order. As President of Peace, you, Mr. Trump, brought to an end 8 wars just within 8 months.
You ended all the wars. Remember when you ended all the groveling? It's embarrassing.
Thus, you have evidently reinforced America, its role as a pillar of international stability.
Cool. Super cool. They all know. They just have to come over here, tell Donald Trump how great he is. And they know it's pathetic, but it's reality. This is the most powerful country in the world. This guy's an egomaniac, a complete sociopath. And that's what you honestly have to do in order to get Donald Trump to work with you. You just have to like kiss his ass. I was on a walk when I was listening to that, and I was audibly laughing as I listened to it. Now here's Donald Trump talking about apparently this meeting in South Korea that he had, which boy, these meetings were more productive than we thought.
We were with what we've done is pretty amazing. We were with the president of South Korea. We went to Malaysia and lots of other places, and had a lot of meetings while in.
Yeah, it did work for Argentina.
South Korea. And I think it was a tremendous period of time. We took in at least $2 trillion pouring into our country. There's never been anything like it. We have almost.
What was the number that South Korea pledged? I know it wasn't 3 trillion. What was it? I think there was was it one of them said like, I remember if it was Japan that said like over 30 years it'd be like 1.5 trillion or something. 350 billion. It's just short of 3 trillion.
Almost $18 trillion of investment.
Well, this
There's
is the
never
number.
been anything like it. We have almost $18 trillion of investment.
No, we don't. By the way, any of the investment that we can actually count that isn't just like words that people have said, it's something like 800 billion. It's nowhere near, it's not even very close to $1 trillion. And now it's 18 trillion. Why don't we just take that? If they're willing to give us that much money, why don't we just pay off the debt? That'd take us down to 20 trillion. Why would we take all this money and give it to the AI companies? If it was real, why would we give all this money to AI companies? Why wouldn't we use it to, couldn't we take some of that and pay for Snap? Can we take some of that and pay for ACA subsidies? Why would we take all of this money and give it to the AI sector?
By the time we finish out our first year, we probably will have about 20 or 21 trillion, with a T, trillion dollars of investment. And there's never been anything like that in the history of the world, not just.
And also never still. Like, there's never been anything like that in history, and it doesn't exist now.
The United States, what we.
All right. Guys, I don't know how to ask you, please, to stop every time it glitches. Stop all saying glitching. It's distracting for somebody with ADHD. I can't fix it. Twitch is fine. Go to Twitch. It's a problem with our software. They emailed me about it this morning. Go to Twitch, please. It's very distracting to see over and over. Go to Twitch. It's not my internet. Million times. All right, here's Kevin Hassett today. Kevin Hassett's trying to spin this because what Republicans, what Donald Trump knows, what everybody knows is that we're in economic trouble. And now they're going to try and spin it and blame it on the Democrats for the shutdown. Like, we're going to blame this whole thing on the shutdown. But the reality is this administration doesn't, they either know what they're doing and they're tanking this on purpose, or they have no fucking clue what they're doing. But we've got problems here, and it has nothing to do with the shutdown.
But look where we are. It is day 38 of the government shutdown, the longest in U.S. history. It is severely impacting travel, and there's a lot of ripple effects there. Today, the FAA cutting flights at 40 major airports across the country, going to 10% of cutbacks in air traffic. Meanwhile, the Senate is aiming for this test vote today on a new interim spending bill to end the stalemate. Plus 3 individual spending bills. This bill would include a new end date of sometime in January rather than November 21st, which of course was included in the House passed measure. Do you have any expectation that this will pass today in the Senate? And what is your expectation of the impact on the economy of this shutdown?
Right. Well, first, the impact on the economy is far worse than we expected because it's gone on for so long. And so there are now, like, Goldman estimates that it's over 1% or 1.5% of GDP. I think we were thinking.
What does that mean? That means government spending is propping up our economy. That's what it means. If the government shutdown causes these problems and it raises, it's going cutting into our GDP, that means that our economy is relying on government spending, right?
That we're going to have at least 3% growth in the fourth quarter. I think now we're expecting something like half that because of the harm by the Democrats' policy. And so, I think that they need to stop. They're harming Americans. They're making it so that people are worried about their holiday flights. The folks, the government workers who are 750,000 of them aren't getting their paychecks, are starting to wonder whether they should find another job. And I think.
Yeah, I'd be wondering too. Maybe you guys should negotiate. Maybe you shouldn't just keep blaming Democrats. Maybe you should get in a room together. I want to show you this. This was a call from, this is one of the constituents of Scott Perry, a Republican, but not a MAGA Republican, called into C-SPAN, and we could all use a little more of this energy.
Let's go to the Republican line, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Frank, you're on the air.
I think that's where Shane Gillis is from, is Mechanicsburg.
Thank you. Good morning.
Oh, sorry, real quick. Let me catch up on Super Chats. Marianne, thank you very much. Jeff said, maybe we should rethink Trump. Last count I had him at 943 wars stopped. America. FOD said, why aren't you making Gluck sounds? It's your MO. Because I got in trouble for having adult content, and then YouTube suppressed the hell out of us. And we're finally starting to get the views back. So that's why I haven't been doing that one. We may have to do that for members only events. Well, I've thought about making the last hour of the show members only, and then it'll just be completely unedited. We haven't figured that out yet, but we might have to do that.
I am a lifelong Republican, but I can differentiate that between being a supporter of MAGA. I guess I would characterize myself as a financial conservative, but I'm much more liberal when it comes to social programs. 1 in 8 kids are going to bed hungry in this country because of SNAP, not taking SNAP programs. We have taken away free and reduced lunches from many of our public schools because there's no negotiation. The Republicans have basically said, open the government and we will negotiate. Quite frankly, that is a lie. My federal representative from Federal District 10 in Pennsylvania, Scott Perry, has made many promises. One of the promises, he said, I'll open town halls so people can come in and submit questions. He hasn't had a town hall since 2017. Now, if you want to talk to my congressman, you have to do it by telephone, teleconference. You have to pre-submit your questions, and you can never make a follow-up question. So do I trust the Republicans that they would negotiate after we open the government, the Democratic Party? Absolutely not. One more very quick idea that you might want to know what this is. During the last telephone conference, town hall, that Scott Perry ran, he said, I don't believe in all of our Constitution, but both as a military man and a member of Congress, I have to swear an oath to it. Wouldn't it have been good if I could follow up with questions, Representative, what do you disagree with and why? But you can't follow up.
Losing their own constituents now.
Let's go to the.
Anybody who's not deeply MAGA has a lot of questions. Again, like if you're not deeply MAGA, if you're not in this for Donald Trump, it's painfully obvious that we're asking our representatives to negotiate.
On Paychecks to Politicians Act, I ask a unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of my bill, that bill, which I just described, which is at the desk. I further ask that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there an objection?
Okay, so we know the bill. He basically said, I have two bills. I have one that says that nobody in the Senate will get paid, or no member of Congress will get paid during the shutdown, but they'll be reimbursed after. And then he had a second bill, just in case that one didn't work, that said nobody will get paid and nobody will be reimbursed after. He was cool with either bill.
I think it's time that instead of closing the government down further, that we begin to open up government. What I will offer is legislation that instead of closing government down further, begins to pay those who are working, pays our soldiers, pays our air traffic controllers, pays everyone who's showing up for work. I think this should become a permanent feature of our government. I think it's disruptive, I think it's unfair, and I think it's wrong that we don't pay the workers that are showing up. But a better way than isolating out different groups and
Thanks, Crazy Trees, for the gifted subs. Appreciate you.
Different groups is to actually pay those who are working. And I think we should do this. If we pass this legislation, this would never be a problem again. We're going to run into disagreements in the future. We're going to have times when the government shuts down, but there's no reason that we shouldn't be paying our government workers. So I ask that the senator modify his request so that instead of the Senate proceeding to the immediate consideration of calendar item 191, that S3012, that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to consider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Mr. President.
Would the senator modify his request?
This is where it gets crazy. Okay, so Rand Paul's basically like, hey, we need to amend this so that during a government shutdown, we don't have to work, we don't have to do this, because then we can negotiate. And people don't have to be hurt during a government shutdown. We can write a new bill that basically these people, if you're working during a government shutdown and you're a member of the government, you still get paid. That solves all these problems. Then we can negotiate. Anybody, please, if you have seen this, don't spoil it for anybody else. But I promise you, you're not, like, I promise you, you're going to be shocked by why John Kennedy opposes Rand Paul's bill.
Mr. President, and I'd like to explain why. I understand Senator Paul is making a good point. What he's saying is, rather than saying, as I am, that nobody else is being paid, so members of Congress shouldn't be paid, I think what Senator Paul is saying, let's pay everybody. That's what I understand him to be saying. And he wants me to agree to that instead of my bill. What Senator Paul is proposing is Senator Ron Johnson's shutdown, no shutdown act that we voted on several times. And I'm for it. I voted for it several times. Here's the problem I have with Senator Paul's proposal of pulling down my bill and going with Senator Johnson's bill.
Any guesses? Please, again, if you've seen this, don't guess. Can anybody tell me why? So he said, I agree with this bill. Why do you think he doesn't support it then? Anybody? While you're putting in those answers, here's his answer.
Several reasons. Number one, I'm interested in passing something. I'm not interested in just putting on a show. My bill will pass the House of Representatives.
He wants his name on it? Sort of.
And my bill will be signed by the president. Senator Paul's bill, I can assure you, will not pass the House of Representatives. And President Trump will not sign it. I'm not saying
Why? Is it because it's a bad bill?
someone's right or somebody's wrong. President Trump does not consider to be Senator Paul to be part of his MAGA agenda, and he will veto it. And then we're right back to square one. So for that reason, I can't substitute his for mine, because his is going to be as dead as fried chicken here in a few days, and mine has a chance to pass. Now, I need some clarification, Mr. President.
All right. So now they're going to go back and forth. Rand Paul is going to offer some amendments. Here's Kennedy again. Rand Paul's like, look, I don't know why this. I think it's a sensible bill. I don't think that you're right that it won't pass the House. I think it'll definitely pass the House. He even says, like, I disagree with Trump all the time, but like, I don't hate him. I like Trump. We agree, and sometimes we disagree. Here's Kennedy's response to that.
It's called the Withhold Member Pay During Shutdowns Act. Remember, my first bill that Senator Paul objected to would have said members of Congress don't get paid.
Okay, so here's where he adds the second bill where he says, all right, how about Senator Paul, will you agree to this bill? This bill is one where nobody gets paid. Nobody gets, you don't get paid and you don't get reimbursed if you're a member of Congress. Rand Paul's like, no, I don't really like that. I think my bill is good. And then this is Kennedy coming back at the end.
Chair, Senator for Louisiana.
A point of clarification. Senator Paul has objected to my bill, or he wants me to modify it?
He objected to your bill.
Okay. I'm not done yet. Let me see. Maybe I wasn't clear. I apologize, Rand, if I wasn't clear. I support Rand's bill. It's actually Ron John's bill, but I support his idea. What I'm saying is if everybody over here isn't being paid, members of Congress shouldn't be paid. Okay? What Rand is saying, Senator Paul is saying is let's pay everybody. And he's absolutely right. I support that. But I want to pass something. I want to pass something, Senator Durbin. We live in the real world. And my bill is more likely to pass the House and more likely to be signed by the President than Senator Paul's bill. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is. I don't think that the House is going to pass Senator Paul's bill. And I don't think it's any secret. I'm not saying he's right or wrong, but President Trump does not consider Senator Paul to be part of the MAGA agenda. He said that. He's tweeted it about a squillion times. Am I wrong, Senator Durbin? I mean, he's tweeted it about a squillion times. And he's going to veto Senator Paul's bill because his name is on it. He's going to knock it to Uranus. He's going to knock it into a new zip code. And then what have Rand and I done? We put on a pretty performance. I want to pass something. Now, I tried to pass my bill preventing members of Congress from being paid. And you can pretty it up all you want to, but Rand objected. And I'm not judging him. I'm not judging anybody who's taking their salaries. I'm not taking mine, but I'm not judging anybody. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And you either think members of Congress ought to be treated like everybody else, or you don't. You either think that we're more important and smarter and more virtuous than the American people, or you don't. And I think we ought to be treated the same. Now, having said that, I said I agreed with what Senator Paul said.
This is where, like, it'll blow your mind. Everybody knows that Donald Trump is a fucking toddler. Everybody in the Senate. Nobody. Did you notice nobody objected when they said in the House? In the House, you would have had every Republican that lives inside of Donald Trump's ass objecting, like, "Oh, you're besmirching the president." Not one person objected. They all agree. Good bill. Ron Johnson put this bill forward, but because it has Rand Paul's name on it, Trump will not pass it. And so here's the solution they have to come up with because our president is a fucking toddler.
I'm just worried his name on the bill is going to get knocked out of the park. So I'm going to put it in my name. Let's do it's not Senator Paul's bill, it's Senator Ron Johnson's bill. And what Ron Johnson we call him Ron John, I'm sorry, Senator Ron Johnson from the wonderful state of Wisconsin. What Senator Johnson has proposed, and I voted for it repeatedly, says, look, if you're deemed an essential employee right now, you're working, but you're not being paid. Senator Johnson's bill says, we're going to pay you. I voted for that. It also says if you're furloughed, if you're deemed to be non-essential, then you're not working, but you will get paid once we come out of this shutdown. Does that make sense? That's what Senator Ron Johnson has proposed. And as I told my good friend Senator Paul, I agree with him. Senator Paul's name is on that bill. It's going to be vetoed 6 ways to Sunday. I'm going to try to put my name on the bill. Maybe it'll get passed, maybe it won't, but I think I have a better chance than Senator Paul.
That's their solution. Our president's a toddler. He doesn't like Rand, so he'll veto it because it has his name on it. So we're going to treat him like a toddler, and we're going to do a little tricksy tricks. I'm going to put my name on it and see if he notices. And nobody's going to tell him because they all treat him like a toddler. He's exactly what we've told all of you he is. He is a dipshit sociopath, and they all know it. We're starting to, as this government shutdown drags on, the truth about Donald Trump, the truth of what these Republicans that have to work with this big, dumb fucking moron, the truth is they all think he's as stupid as we think he is. They all think he's as petulant and childish as we do. In fact, they know it. They nod in agreement. It's time for some of you guys who voted for him to realize what you voted for. A fucking toddler. You put a toddler in charge, and he's throwing a fit right now. He's throwing a fit because people are asking him to do what? What did they want to do? Compromise? No, I don't want to compromise. I've got a 5-year-old. She does this too. Sometimes I have to, like, her and her friend, they'll be playing and they both want to do something different, and it comes to a head. Like, neither one of them wants to give in. So we have to go out there and we have to mediate, and we go, okay, I'll put on a timer, and for 10 minutes, you're going to do this activity, and then after 10 minutes, you're going to do this activity. So you both win. And then they look at each other and they go, okay. That's what we're dealing with. We have to gentle parent our president. We have to trick him. It's like putting your dog's pills in a piece of bread so it'll eat it. You have to trick him to do the right thing because he's such a dumb fucking toddler. Like, toddlers are supposed to be toddlers, but you grow out of it. You shouldn't still act like a toddler when you're 79 years old. And the fact that it has taken 40 days of a government shutdown to finally get these folks to tell you the truth, which is Donald Trump's a dipshit and he's a fucking toddler, and we're going to have to trick him if we want to get anything done. And we just saw the president of Kazakhstan and everybody that comes to meet with him, they're all prepped. They have a team. We're going to meet with the president of the United States. Here's what you need to know. Tell him how great he is. Tell him how historic his election was. Talk about the wars that he ended. Talk about America first. Talk about how much people love him. Talk about what a strong, respected leader he is. Just blow him. Blow him, and then you get what you want. Everybody has to cater to Donald Trump because he's a fucking toddler. And that's the reality that we live in, and that's the reality that we're going to end on today. But now we'll go to Friendly Friday. So for anybody who's new to Friendly Friday, Republicans, you may want to bounce because we're going to talk to each other and we're going to be nice to each other. And if you're here, if you're in the Discord, you can start jumping in the VC, and we'll do Friendly Friday. I'm sorry, I only have about, let's see, it's what do I have? Maybe 30. I probably have 30 minutes. I can go till 1:20 my time, but I do have a hard cutoff. I got to go get my daughter from school. That'll give me enough time. And I drive a race car now with no muffler, so I can get there. But I got about 30 minutes for Friendly Friday. So make sure if you're lining up for Friendly Friday, we got to keep it short. We got to keep it quick. We got to keep moving. For those who come up on Friendly Friday just to say hi, can I just ask just this week, don't come up just to do like small talk and say hi. We'll get back to it next week. But for this week, can we just have people who have comments or questions, but not just like small talk? We can start lining up now. Jen, you there? And if anybody wants to help knock out that goal while we're going, you can also do that. That'd be greatly appreciated. Make sure I didn't miss any. Denise said choo choo and TGIF. Thank you, Denise. Natalie said for Jen and her friendly, loving personality. Everybody knows Jen is just soft. So sweet and so soft. Johnny said, home resting until I go Monday for next round of chemo. Thanks, everyone, for supporting me. Maybe see you on Friendly Friday, going back to Twitch. Good to hear, Johnny. I don't know why I said John. My dad just recently went through a couple years of chemo, so I know that those rest days are really important. So I hope you're getting a lot of rest. Jeff said this to never show F-Stick Kennedy ever again. And RTB doesn't mention that I personally gave Trump $13 billion. Fake news. I didn't. Yeah, you're right. I'm not telling anybody that. I didn't see that, Jen. Jen blocked the word glitch and glitching on TikTok. So if you can't say glitch or glitching, take that. Jump over there real quick. There we are.
You're already there.
Hello.
No, I think Swish was here first.
What's up, Swish? Happy Friday.
Hi, I wasn't, but I'll be quick. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Sister Wife 69 reporting for duty. Thank you very much. Very quickly. I went to my daughter's wedding last weekend. She got married, went home to Connecticut, which was a lot of fun. And she got married on a farm. It was a barn and there were animals and it was all very nice, right? And so there was an outside bar set up and there were like, it was a little strange because you ever go to one of those like really old-timey places and they've got weird like dolls and like, I don't know, like old-timey toys. Well, this kind
So,
of had that
Like, are you talking about
vibe.
Cracker Barrel? Is that what you're talking about? Sounds like a Cracker
I
Barrel.
mean, so I guess if you want to liken it to something like that, you could sort of say like, yeah, just like old timey toys. And so there was this out by the bar, there was a tiny piano with a little tiny piano player, and it was playing, and it was pretty cool. And my ex-husband, who does not really have a sense of humor, nor does he run, and both of those things will be important here. He was like, that is really cool. And he actually like giggled a little bit. So I was concerned. And he was like, that is amazing. Where did you get that? And the bartender was like, well, this doesn't come with the barn and everything. There's a genie out front. Go out front, he'll grant you one wish. My ex-husband, excuse me, who does not run, ran out front, said to the genie, I wish for $1 million. The genie snapped his fingers, and instantly there were ducks everywhere. So my ex-husband, with no sense of humor and who does not run, came back in with his usual scowl and was like, there's something wrong with your genie. I asked for $1 million, and now there's fucking ducks everywhere. And the bartender was like, yeah, man, do you think I asked for a 12-inch penis? So, yeah.
Thanks, Swish.
So.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. All right, who's next?
Mama.
Hey, Mama.
It was actually Q.
It's all
I
right.
don't wanna take this
We'll just
place.
we can't keep the order on Discord anyways.
Dude,
It's okay.
I didn't write it down, so.
Yeah, he was actually in front of me.
That's all right. We'll just whatever order Jen does. It's all right.
Okay, so just quick question. So I've been reading on Threads, went down a little like rabbit hole, and people are talking about like there's part of the Constitution where we could actually remove everybody that's like part of the government, but also not following law or constitutional stuff. I don't know if you talked about it. I haven't done that much digging on it, but what the fuck are they talking about? Is that like real? Can we actually do that?
I don't know if they're talking like Article 2, like if they're talking about impeachment. I don't know if they're talking about the 20.
It's like Article 2, Section 4 or something.
Yeah, that's impeachment. So that's basically the president, the vice president, and all civil officers shall be removed from office or on impeachment for conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes or misdemeanors. So it's basically like a way to remove people from the executive branch.
How realistic do you think it is that they would actually do?
Not very, because because you would need Republicans to vote for that. It's a vote through. I mean, Trump was impeached before, so the first step is impeachment, which is in the House, and then removal requires the Senate. I would be shocked if they had the votes for that. I think it's more likely in the Senate than the House, but I don't think the House would get the votes for it. They're all afraid of him.
Well, I mean, they won't even like swear in people. So,
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah. It's highly
Yeah,
unlikely. In fact,
that was my only.
I don't know who it was. I saw some Democrat today saying they don't even think that the Democrats will necessarily even try to impeach him because they know it's a waste of time. So they may not even bring. I mean, there's 10 things off the top of my head that you could impeach Donald Trump for already. But I don't even know if they would because they did it last time. It which took up all this time. I think Democrats are, as much as we'd all like to see it to be vindictive and because he deserves it, I would much rather see them just spend all their time making sure that they're checking the powers that he's trying to consume.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Also, just wanted to share first time ever listening elevated. Chef's kiss.
Is it all right, elevated? Good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Yeah, so I've had a migraine for like a week. So finally somebody was like, "Hey, one of these."
Yeah, one of these is
I
good.
can follow along so much better. Holy shit. Anyways, so I'm sure in past time, Jen even like put up a clock for me. So sorry, Jen.
Thanks,
It
Mama.
wasn't for you. It's what I do for everybody.
Thanks, Mama.
Look, I thought it was special for a second.
You are. You're
Love
very
you guys, bye.
special. See you. Bye. All right, who's next?
Q. No, yeah, Q.
What's up, Q?
Hello.
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. So I have a joke from 2 weeks ago, which seems to be a theme. But then before that, date night with Admir.
Okay.
Again. Oh my God. And I know that we're both on the trail where we're just not even sure if that's the proper term for the benevolent being, but geez. The guy that you talked about yesterday that came back on, he was lost in the sauce. The guy that was from New York, absolute nutso. And then the third guy that was like a nihilist, he was like, whatever you want. Well, you're just dumb. Read what I'm telling you to read. Read this entire dissertation right now.
Mike.
And then, oh my. And to just be so fervently wrong, and just so peacocky, all of them, just abysmal.
Yeah, it was tough. I like fervently. I like that, actually. I think we should make that a word. It's like fervently, but like you're sweating while you do it.
Yes.
And hallucinating.
Yes.
That feels right.
It's like Iago. I'm so upset I'm molting.
Is that the bird from Aladdin?
Yep.
Okay, I can remember. That's good. That's a good reference.
All right. So the joke will require a little bit of elevation, possibly.
Okay.
I saw it somewhere, but it was just asking about. Have you heard about the Navy? They put barcodes on all their.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Oh no. How's this?
That's better.
Okay. Have you heard that the Norwegian Navy
lost you?
Barcodes.
He has heard the joke. I said it to him. I think last week.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was a good joke.
Either way, I keep losing you, so I don't know what know what the joke is.
He's the joke about the Norwegian Navy. They put a barcode on the side. Something about Norwegian.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Scandinavian.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
There we go.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, Q.
Absolutely. Everybody have a great weekend.
See ya.
Bye.
Jazzy.
Hey. I think you're muted, Jazzy.
Jazzy girl, you're muted. All right, we'll go to Illusion.
What's up, Illusion?
Hey, bud, I'm not going to take up a lot of time. I don't have any jokes or anything. I think what you're doing is awesome. Jen is awesome. Anyway, let's get past all that bullshit. The response of Russia. Have you been following the response of Russia to Donald Trump's testing of nuclear missiles or nuclear bombs?
No, no, I haven't.
Well, they recently just said that they're like one of them specifically said, I don't remember which one of the Russian ass names said that like we need to hit these these bastards hard so they'll never forget it or something like that.
Oh, good.
Like it's getting kind of freaky. And I don't hear a lot of coverage about it, not on the news especially. But so I don't know.
Looks
I
like
just
that
thought it
was
might be-
Medvedev, who was the former president before Putin said that. He said,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's a psycho.
Yeah, well, he's the number 2, right? So if Putin goes away, then boom, it's going to be Medvedev, and he's even more psychotic than Putin is. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there so everybody can be scared over the weekend. And, remember me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Have
Have a good one, guys.
Good
Take
talking to
care.
you. See ya. All right, who's next?
Dolphin.
Who'd you say?
Dolphin.
Oh, Dolphin. Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
I just wanted to come up and say thank you for everything you do.
Thanks.
I know it's not talk time, but thank you for the follow because I feel very honored because you said you don't follow very many people. Jen, I'm still waiting for your follow.
I'm going to get ripped
Anyway.
right now. You saying that publicly is about to get me in trouble.
I know. Just one thing. Just tell everybody life's a bitch, get a fucking helmet, and we're in for a ride.
All right. Thank you, Dolphin.
All right, see ya.
See ya. All right. Who's next?
Diva.
Hey, Diva.
How are you? What's going on, Jay? Anything new?
Shut up.
I haven't had a chance to listen to today's show yet, but did you cover anything with like the airline delays and the air traffic controllers not showing up to work?
I didn't get to it. I had some Sean Duffy stuff. I ran out of time.
No, that's fine. Well, I'm supposed to Wednesday be on a plane to Amsterdam for my dream trip that I've been planning forever. And if I can't go, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown.
Okay. Yeah, I'm supposed to go to Mexico in 2 weeks, so I'm a little concerned myself.
I know. And I was like, there's worse things in the world. There's people hard time getting food. So I like feel bad, but I was like, I will freak out if I can't go on this trip. So I just didn't know if you had covered anything on it yet. Cause I'm connecting in JFK. So
I didn't. For anybody who doesn't like, Sean Duffy now is basically just going on air and begging people to come work for free. Like he's telling him, he's like, it's your job, you should be here, and just saying like, I don't think that's gonna work. So we'll.
Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to shout out for the support that everybody's given me on here. I know I've been a complainer here and there, and a lot of it probably connected to my PTSD and complaining, but I just really, earlier I was, I got a little wrinkle right there.
It's all right. Only we can see you. It's not live, so you're good. Or it's not on the screen live. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. But yeah, anyway, I just really appreciate all the support I've had from the people in the chat and the group and you guys and all the general information that you're really doing with the mods and the taking care of all the knuckleheads being idiots and all the people that are doing all the research and how it's just coming together. This team, it's just been amazing that the amount of work that you guys have done.
Oh, thanks.
And
Man.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we got a great team. Jen does a great job with the mods, so I appreciate that.
And I don't really have a joke today. Although
right.
you have a rattlesnake joke, I could tell it again. Maybe you could laugh today, but I don't think you.
I don't remember it. You want to try?
I'll tell it again.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So these two kids, they go to visit their grandpa in the mountains, and they're there for the weekend. And the grandpa's like, "Okay, when I was a kid, blah blah blah, uphill both way in the snows. We used to go play in the woods all day. Go play in the woods. Get out of my house, kids." So the kids, okay. So the two kids go wandering into the woods. They're walking around. It's there in a couple hours in there. One of the kids like, "Oh, I got to take a crap." And the brother's like, "Just go lean over that tree, sit over that tree and go." Okay. So the brother goes and he leans down and just kind of waiting for him on the side. And he hears a big holler. He's like, "Ah!" He's like, "What? What happened? I just got bit." "What are you talking about?" And the other brother looks down. There's a rattlesnake. And the kid got bit like where he was pooping, right on the butthole. Runs home to grandpa. He's like, Grandpa, Billy's been bit. He's been bit by a rattlesnake. He's like a mile in the woods. Grandpa's like, "Well, I can't get up there." He's like, What do I do? He's like, "All right, this is what you do. Take this pocket knife and go to the bites and put a little X, cut an X on the pocket knife. And then you got to suck all the venom out." So he's like, what? Grandpa, he said, "There's no time to rush. Just take the pocket knife, go cut the X's and suck out the venom and make sure you don't swallow it. Spit the venom out." brother runs into the woods, goes back to the brother, and he's like, "Oh, I don't feel so good." He's like, "What Grandpa say? What Grandpa say?" He goes, "Grandpa said you're gonna die."
I got it this time.
There's no way.
I thought you were going to say the X was already there. That's where I thought it was going to go. I thought that's what they were going to say.
The last time it was breaking up, so you only got half of the message because I was outside my crappy work, my crappy Wi-Fi. I'm at home now, so you actually caught it all.
Yeah.
But I see I'm at 0. So let's get to the next person. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And
keep us posted, man. And best of luck to you on Friday.
Oh yeah, I'm going back I came home for a week. My scans came up clear. They did MRIs, CTs, all that stuff. They can't find. I had a mass behind my eye, which is I had double vision, which is why I originally went in. Going back on Monday for round 2 of chemo. I think it's VCAB. I'll be in for 5 days. I'll be home for 2 weeks. And if the scans are clear, I'll be done. If they're not clear, we'll see. But it could go on for a long time, or it could be cleared up. But hopefully this next round will kick the shit out of all of it, and I'll be done with it and go from there.
Well, keep us posted, man. We're thinking about you.
All right, man. Love y'all.
Love you. We'll see you.
Fine. We've got Hap.
And thanks, Jen, for me being a jerk. I appreciate you. I was the
You're
knucklehead.
good.
Thanks.
No worries.
All right, bye.
Bye.
So hopefully I don't have too much background noise. I'm out in the wild right now. But I was really meaning to get on this Friendly Friday. So thanks for actually being here on a Friday, Jay.
Sorry.
Jesus. But so 2 of the most important stories right now. Obviously, Zoran Mamdani has won. Now, I can't help thinking billionaires are going to stop him. And I didn't hear a specific thing about that this week. So if you did it, I apologize. But can you speak to that in 30 seconds?
Like that they're going to oppose him?
They're going to stop him.
Well, yeah, I think what I talked about yesterday is I would expect to see a bunch of money now be funneled into like the city council and try and replace the city council and install a bunch of billionaire loyalists so that he can't get any of his agenda done. I fully expect that. Kevin O'Leary this morning was whining about how Zoran's not listening to him and how we need to already get somebody in there. Yeah, they're definitely going to try. And any lever they can pull, they're going to pull. I think they'll pull federal levers to try and make sure that federal funding is either slow to move into New York or doesn't move into New York. They'll try and rig these races. They're going to pump a bunch of money into both Stefanik and maybe Kathy Hochul as well in the governor's race to try and stop what Zoran's doing. Yeah, it's going to be an all-out war.
And then with Prop 50, what's your take on the SCOTUS thing? Because I did not hear that either, and I'm sure you said it, but I just wanted to communicate with you about it.
That was another thing we didn't quite get to today. I listened to the whole SCOTUS hearing, and if you listen to it, it sounds like they're all against it. Prop 50 is what you said, right? Sorry, I was thinking of the tariffs. Prop 50, yeah, they're not that. There's no way that's overturned. We covered it earlier. Like Mark Elias, we played a clip of him. It's already basically, they've refused to hear it like 6 times already. I can't imagine the Supreme Court's even willing to hear it. It's obviously constitutional. States have rights. Their citizens voted. It was on the ballot. I don't think there's really much you can do about that.
All right. Well, I hate you both. Jen, as much as I hate you, I appreciate you more than almost anyone.
Awesome.
You guys
Appreciate it.
have a good week.
Thanks, Ab.
All right. Bye. Let me stop asking.
Hey.
Say sucks.
That's right. Thank you.
There you go. I also wanted to say thank you for everybody who donated. We got through the week. I keep checking my food stamp balance every day, and Trump is so on top of it. Just so on top of it.
He's so good.
So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I hate to be a beggar. And I just wanted to say how much I sincerely appreciate this community and you for bringing this community together. And I just love you guys.
Thank you. Don't feel bad about that. That's what community's for. We help each other.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya. Positive impact.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. this time change thing. I'm on the Pacific Coast. I'm having a hard time catching your show as much as I'd like. I can usually plan it around my lunch hour to catch most of it when you were before, but now I get like the last hour.
You're just gonna have to eat earlier. Sorry.
I know. So, but yeah, thank you for continuing to bring all these stories to light. And it's interesting because I feel a little bit of hope. But then I look at the things that they're doing, like with buying Dominion and just all the things that they're trying to do with 2026, the midterms that, I just get really nervous about all that. And I mean, this definitely gave me hope. And it was like, okay, there was a lot of blue all around the country in places like Mississippi where you wouldn't expect it. And yet I just can't get rid of that bad feeling of that they're going to manipulate things, and that they're going to make it look like it was a fair election, but they're going to be messing things in the background. So
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know if they're smart enough to pull it off. I'm kind of hoping they're not, but I'm with you. The stuff they're doing on the back end to prepare for the midterms in the next election they make me nervous too. I don't blame you at all.
yeah. So anyways, I'm going to take the hopefulness that I felt after Tuesday or these last elections, and I'm going to ride that for a little while. But yeah, I'm just trying not to get that bad feeling.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but thanks for all you do. I appreciate it, and yeah.
Well, thank
Glad you
you.
had a friendly Friday. All right.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too. Bye.
Bye. Is that everybody, Jen? Oh, I think she closed it. I think that was everybody. All right, everybody. We will see you Monday morning, and every weekday morning, 8:30 a.m. to noon Pacific Standard Time, right here wherever you're watching. Hopefully, Streamlabs gets its shit together. Just a reminder, though, Streamlabs integrates really, really well with Twitch. So if you're on TikTok and you feel like you're missing stuff, head over to Twitch. It's a way better experience. It's also a better layout, so you can watch it on your computer. You can also watch it on your phone, but it's a good option over there on Twitch. And I apologize. I don't know when they're going to get this stuff figured out with TikTok and YouTube, but hopefully they do. Just a reminder, if you haven't already joined, if you're not a paid member, you may want to jump on that this weekend. As we have our members-only event on Monday, we'll be watching Newsies together and talking about wealth inequality. That'll be at 5 Pacific on Monday, but sometimes the systems don't integrate and update very quickly. So if you wait until Monday, it may be hard to get you into Discord. And if you are a paid member and you want to watch that with us, make sure you've downloaded Discord, because that's where we have to watch it. We can't stream a lot of these things because of copyright. So I think that's it. Go ahead.
I might see if I can pull together. I know some people are having issues with linking their Twitch or their Discord or YouTube to Discord. I might set something up where I can kind of walk people through it. It's not super complicated to do, but I might set something so that I can help people do that. It's because I can't go manually add people to the channel. So if you were in for the movie last week manually, you're gonna have to reconnect your stuff, because we're not gonna. It's not gonna work for this one.
Okay. All right, everybody. We'll be back Monday morning. Take care of yourselves this weekend. Stay cute and cool, and have a great summer.